Yo,
What's up, everybody?
we made
Well,
it.
we made it. I know, had a slight emergency a little while ago, but we're here now. So welcome back to this week's edition of Legion of Geeks. What's going on, Sean?
What's going on, Marcus?
Oh,
You've
dude.
had an eventful evening, so we don't
all
have
the way up, all the way up until like right now. Like I got out of the car, came right upstairs, just sat down. I have my makeup people like putting makeup on, squirting me down, fucking wiping the sweat off my face.
you
And
have
then you were
you have
like, "Let's go,
makeup
it's rolling."
you have makeup people, dude? What the fuck?
I mean, that's what they said they were. How you been, man?
Good. Good, dude. Definitely a lot more relaxed day than you. But
Totally.
that's just life sometimes. But we pop on here to kind of wind down and take our mind off of some other shit. So I'm glad you made it, bro. Thanks for keeping in touch and keeping everybody updated.
So just in case anybody is
Brady,
not
what
sure,
up?
hey, what's going on?
Hey, and thanks
Uh,
music. How's it going?
the only reason we were talking about this is because my cat earlier, Bug, he was not acting right ever since I came back from a little mini vacation over the weekend, and he was, I don't know, really standoffish, kind of just like hanging out in the corner, facing the wall, almost like I punished him, and he wasn't allowed to look at me. But I would go and I would check on him, and he's so loving, he's so sweet all the time. And he didn't even want me to touch him. He was like backing away from me the whole time. I was like, "Whoa, what's going on, dude?" And
That's weird,
he
man.
wasn't eating, and he's a hefty guy, so he definitely loves his food. And he wasn't eating, he wasn't going to the bathroom, so I took him to the emergency room earlier, and $1,300 later, here we are, baby. Made it to the stream, but Book is okay, so he's fine.
That's what's
The
important.
p was I was cracking up because I took him out of his little thing, his little cage, and I guess, the sedative that they gave him is not completely worn off yet.
Oh shit.
So, he came stumbling out of the gates, just like dude, he looked like me on a Friday night. It
Yeah.
just he couldn't even, like, get his bearings. He's just, like, walking around. He's all like this. He looked like Jello.
Yeah, dude. When
I was
when
like, "Oh, dude." Like,
when
poor guy.
you had your birthday weekend, he threw a party at the house. So
He threw a party at the vet.
Jesus,
Uh, yeah,
$1,300 bar tab.
dude,
What's up,
I
Christoph? I
felt
see you
so
guys.
I felt so bad, but it was funny at the same time
Oh, you
because he
got
was like, he couldn't get his bearings,
you
He doesn't
gotta
even know where the
laugh,
hell
dude.
right now, he doesn't know where the fuck he is at all.
Yeah, dude.
He thinks he's somewhere else. So
Yeah, yeah,
it
dude.
was,
That's exactly like all little Michael all last week after his surgery. They gave us sedatives and everything to keep him calm while he heals. So
yeah,
you gotta laugh, dude. That's the only way. With how
that's funny.
expensive this shit is, you gotta laugh.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But we made it. We're here, dude.
We are.
So,
We got new people in the chat. Thanks,
new
guys,
people
for
in the
jumping
chat.
over. I don't
Yeah,
know if
thanks, everybody.
you guys probably saw my awkward IG live, but yeah, thanks for coming through. This is Legion of Geeks. We do this normally on Wednesdays, but this week, of course, I had some shit and I had to push it to Tuesday, and then of course that's when Marcus has some shit. But somehow, man, we still made it.
We always do, man.
Yeah.
We always make it. So, what do we got going on this week, dude? What's our topic?
So, main topic of the show, as you guys can see from the title here, is choose your own Sinister Six.
Wait,
So
is there a title?
not on our screen
Oh,
because of some other things that we got going on. We're switching things up. We're trying new graphics. We got fancy camera angles. We got fancy close-ups. We got all
hey.
this. And so
Oh, there we go.
so
That's
with all
good.
that, I now got to figure out how to put the titles above all this. But, we'll get through it. I'd rather change the camera angles for, exchange it for having that title in there. But, it'll all be done in post. You guys are
We
seeing the
gotta
live show. You guys get
we
the
got
the raw deal here, including all the hubbubs and flubs and everything else that
we gotta
happens.
give our video production, what we'll call you video production officer, Sean.
There
We
you
gotta
go.
give you a raise, dude.
VPO.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your VPO of
yeah.
Legion of Geeks.
A raise on
It's perfect.
$0 is still $0, but
Yeah. Well, we'll take
it's
it.
the
We'll,
thought that counts, right?
we'll take it with follow. So anybody who's watching, Sean deserves an extra follow. So maybe tell everybody to pop over here and check us out.
Make
Check
a
our shitty graphics. Yeah.
make a
Nah,
burner
just
account, throw an extra
yeah,
follow. Um,
yeah.
and subscribe on YouTube won't hurt. Won't cost anything. But tonight's show, on top of that main topic, we're throwing in some fun stuff. Um, we're doing a few icebreakers for you guys. Get you guys a little peep of more how our brains work.
Sure.
Um, and then we got a extra special art segment that we'll keep it a surprise, but
Mm,
it'll be
I
fun.
can't wait.
It
I can't wait to
should
do that
be
one.
plenty of entertaining, and if you guys are in chat, you can always jump in as well.
Dude, I can't
Um,
wait to announce the name of that segment.
yeah,
Anybody who's been listening so far, who's been an OG since the beginning, it's something we say often, plenty and often on our show, and it's I still haven't gotten over it, dude. I still think it's the funniest shit ever.
yeah, and go back and watch our Justice League, putting together your own Justice League
Yeah,
episode.
that's the one.
That's the I don't know, the inception
Yeah, that's the
of
one,
our
dude.
title that's coming up. So yeah, we'll fill you guys in, but feel free, watch the YouTubes on that one, and yeah, don't feel left behind. We'll catch you up.
Mel says Kogashuko. I mean that's one. That's one of them. So, she butchered that. No, I think that's how you
I
pronounce
think
it.
that's right. I
I
always
think
butcher it.
I think all three of us pronounce it in different ways.
Dude,
But it's the thought that counts.
yeah, exactly. It's from Double Dragon, so they probably
Double
butchered it as well.
dragon. Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, man,
you want to get into this, or we're just gonna jump into it, man?
let's do it, bro. Let's get into it.
So yeah, again, as you just to piggyback off what you mentioned, doing the Sinister Six, but in light of Spider-Man coming out next week, next Thursday, we got our tickets. I hope you got your tickets. I got mine. I will be there Thursday night.
Yep, yep.
In light of that coming out and how hyped up everything is for that, this is just kind of why we wanted to go this direction, choose our own Sinister Six,
Yeah, and
and we want to keep it fun and pick some people that maybe you guys didn't know about, and we'll explain a little bit. So we'll see how that one goes.
yeah, and if you guys don't know, so this new Spider-Man movie is kind of setting the stage. Sinister Six is six villains, six Spider-Man villains who are basically teaming up, making their own team to try to take them out. And I think they have five that have shown in the trailers and stuff. There's a six that was like teased as an Easter egg in another movie, but who knows what they're really doing. And that whole movie's everything's leaking and falling apart, but somehow, hopefully there is still a surprise of a sixth villain coming in and
Right.
trying to kill him.
Oh, there's gonna be. There has to be, dude.
Yeah. They
There's
can't
gonna
do a
be.
Sinister Five. It just the alliteration just isn't there, dude.
They should have Kogashuko for their sixth.
That
Speaking of my first pick, no,
that'd be
I'm
a
just kidding.
surprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
uh,
But yeah, dude, go right ahead, bro. You can go
all right,
first.
jumping into it. So, in a fitting way, my very first pick for this is going to be the very first adversary of Spider-Man
Ever.
in his comic book history ever. So this guy debuted it in the very first issue of the Amazing Spider-Man back in 1963. He's a master of disguises, can virtually just like impersonate anybody, right? And his name is the Chameleon.
Ooh.
Hey, wait, is that Chameleon?
It is.
Are you sure? Is it the old one?
It might be.
It,
I
I
looked
mean, you
for
never know because he impersonates anybody.
that's
So
very true. It's the chameleon as
he's the
Tombstone.
Chameleon.
No, it's chameleon for sure.
Wow,
Um,
that looks like Tombstone, dude.
it does, but yeah.
Okay.
Tombstone has a
Anyways,
flat top.
Chameleon impersonating Tombstone. But
They look like think of it like Men in Black. Like they kind of have the same uniform with a little bit of different haircuts. So
sure. Yeah. I think all the images I was looking at, it was like from the original one where he has like a literal mask on his face.
yeah,
This looks like the second version of it, which I will get into right now. So, anyways, Chameleon number one, uh, which is crazy, right? Because I don't think we've seen him in any. I mean, we see they bring him up in the animated series back in the '90s,
In
and
the
I think in
90s,
some of the
yeah.
video games, but nothing live action so far, which
No.
is
That
I
we
don't know,
know of.
crazy
He
that
could
we
be
know of,
he
right?
could be impersonating somebody in, like, in 10 years, they're like, "Oh, yeah, the second J. Jonah Jameson was actually Chameleon." It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
or the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is actually gonna be Chameleon.
Chameleon, dude.
Uh, so
Oh
anyways,
god.
in Master of Disguises, right, he can be anybody he wants to be, which really could come in handy if you're trying to lure Peter Parker into a trap, right? Just have
Absolutely.
him disguise himself as one of his close friends or allies, and then bam, you got him. So that's a I was just like, "Oh, come on, you need to have somebody like that on your
Yeah.
team." He's almost like Clayface in Batman, like you can just transform into anybody. Um, so how this worked initially when he debuted way back in the day in '63 was that he had a fucking belt buckle, right? And it emitted a gas that allowed him to kind of just like mold his facial features and mold his body, however he wanted it to be. Um, which is crazy, right? It's just like this gas that comes out from your belt buckle. Um, and you're just like,
People
"Oh,
just
I'm
think you
gonna
rip one.
change my face." Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
They
And then you
think
look
you're
like somebody different.
yeah.
Uh,
It's like, "Oh, it
it's
wasn't
very
me, it
silly
was
back
that
then.
guy."
What's interesting is that, like, back in the day, like, that's how they thought that was gonna work out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, nothing any crazier than that, just like, "Oh, this gas that comes out."
Yeah.
But, that eventually evolved into him getting, like, a microcomputer installed into his belt buckle, which can be programmed with, like, hundreds of different faces, and it had a receiver that allowed him to, like, capture anybody's appearance that he would see, and then the computer in his belt buckle used holograms to, like, project his image onto other people, and, like, multiple different people could see 2 different things. So, it's not just one image getting projected onto everybody. It's
Yeah.
like, this one image can be projected onto that person, and, like, I want this person to see that. And so they like I mean, that's pretty badass though for a villain,
Yeah. It's
you know?
super yeah. It's like Trickster to the max for sure. Do you know when that high-tech version came out?
That well, well, initially the first one with the gas was in '63. That
Yeah.
was his thing. Um, I don't know the date. It was shortly after that though. It wasn't too much longer, but that was the next iteration of it.
Okay.
But it looks like the photo that you have there is actually the iteration after this last one. So no more belt buckle.
No more belt
It's
buckle.
just his powers were well, he didn't technically didn't have powers before, but now he has powers in like the updated
Yeah.
Chameleon storyline. So it's innate now. So his skin is it's been what is it? Mutated and altered by a serum so he can take the appearance of anybody that he wants at any time. Just literally transform into the other person. You don't need anything else.
Which
And he wears this like fabric material. It's like memory material, right? And
yeah.
it can change to whatever he wants it to change into and then change back.
So
And
that
so
that turtleneck is a choice for damn sure.
oh, dude, I mean, who wouldn't
He
wanna wear a
does
turtleneck?
yeah, and he physically transforms, which kind of brings me
Yes,
to my point, like, it took them
makes
how
music.
it took them
This
how many
is this
years?
Mike? Thanks. Is this Mike or is this Nick? Which one of you guys is here? But yes, you can physically transform.
Yeah, and it took them how many years to, you know, to mimic a natural
Mhm.
chameleon?
Maybe. Uh,
Like that's to me, if I'm naming a character chameleon, like that's the first thing I would think of. Oh, his skin just transforms.
yeah.
It's like I wouldn't think of like, in the 60s, oh, he's got a gas belt buckle. Or like
Uh,
in the 70s or
yeah.
whatever, oh, he's got this high-tech projector and like psychedelic drugs to make people like see shit. So it's like,
Yeah,
dude,
I'm
it
gonna
took him
mold my
hella long.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just I'm
It's a
gonna look like Aunt May. And let me just, let me extend this juice.
yeah, let me get my
This
Aunt
gas.
May mask, my mold my face
Uh,
really quick.
but, ultimately, I mean, like, those are his powers, right? And that's the first Spider-Man villain, but, like, ultimately, I feel like it would be a really solid pick to be on a team to try and take out Peter Parker because, like, you can change into
Yeah.
anybody close to him, lure him into this false sense of security, and then bam, pull the rug under him.
Yeah.
So, it's just a really good, uh, just somebody I want on my team for sure.
Yeah, and he's literally been around since Spider-Man, since
Number
Spider-Man
one.
came through. So, he knows them the
The
best, bro.
first. Yeah.
Well, shit, that's a great pick.
Thanks,
Um,
dude.
yeah, I solely picked out this graphic just because of the turtleneck and
It's dope, dude.
his Voldemort, nostrils. Like, I just thought it was a dope look.
I couldn't see the turtleneck at first because this big fucking ring light in front of my face. I like move it out of the way. Like, all right, there we go. There we go. There's the turtleneck. So,
Great pick, dude. Yeah.
thanks, man.
It's a great way to lure somebody in is to just change your face or have a gas belt buckle.
Totally.
Great, definitely needs to be on the
I need a
team.
gas belt buckle.
It wasn't me, it was just my belt buckle.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dude, awesome.
What's your first pick? What's on tap? Oh, also, Jarrell says, "Yo, what it do?"
What's up?
So, dude,
Joe
thanks for
Dizzle.
jumping in.
Thanks for jumping in, bro. I know it's later, but I
This has
appreciate
got to
you
be
guys for
Mike.
showing up.
For thanks, and Mike, I know you're here. Thanks, dude. There's no
Thanks.
way that's Nick.
Thanks, music. But yeah, my first pick, bro. The dude that I have no idea why we haven't seen him in the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
He usually doesn't like to play with others, but I mean, Doc Ock runs Sinister Six, so it's like you need somebody running the whole crew. So I'm bringing in the big boss, and he's not popping up. Let me manually pop him up here. We're going
Hey,
Kingpin, baby.
he's so big, he's bigger than our logo. No one's even gonna know who we
Just
are.
took over. But yeah, Kingpin's massive. He's got all the connections, in New York and global, and he's super strong, bro. Like, why is he not in the Sinister Six? Like, he eventually finds out, Peter Parker's identity. He is running on vengeance. You're just big ass scary dude with a whole lot of connections and been battling Spider-Man forever. It almost looks like we're playing tug of war with his cigarette there.
There you go. There you go. Just take a drag, dude.
like
Take
dude,
a drag. Take a drag.
like Lady in the
Take it down,
Tramp.
dude. Just take it
but-
down.
Yeah.
Put it in your nose.
But yeah,
no, yeah,
man,
dude, Kingpin's a great choice, man. I
He's-
love Kingpin. He's just he's so good. And did you like him in the Daredevil show? The dude that played him?
Yeah, I think that's one of the best iterations. Who was it? Michael Clark Duncan?
No, that was the Ben Affleck one.
yeah. But there was that one, that Kingpin. That was pretty good. But then Vincent D'Onofrio,
Yeah, I think that's
he
the one.
killed it, dude, on the Netflix one, and it seems like we're gonna see him come back. Because he captured the brutality of Kingpin. Kingpin's
Yeah,
scary
dude.
because he's just fucking brutal, man. Like I feel like he had some of the bloodiest battles with Spider-Man, and and Spider-Man eventually got his revenge in the comics with beating the shit out of him, when Kingpin was in jail. And it was crazy because Spider-Man, spoiler alert, but Spider-Man beat him up as Peter Parker. Spider-Man didn't hide who he was, and he just beat the shit out of him when they were both in prison. But Kingpin still survived that. I don't think he died from that. But he's always been around, always been battling Spider-Man, and I'm like, I have no idea why he hasn't been part of the Sinister Six. So
it's more like it's just
Makes
good to have
sense.
like that crime boss, that like that leader of the of your pack, somebody with just with a lot of money, a lot of connections.
Yeah.
You run the streets, all the you have unlimited supplies and resources because of all the drug money you're making.
Yeah, and you have eyes everywhere. Wherever Spider-Man's at, you connect with the local gang, and they'll, they listen to him. Like,
Sure.
he's paid off so many people to attack others everywhere. So
Yeah,
he's just
absolutely,
scary,
dude, that's
scary
awesome.
connected dude.
And if rumor serves correctly, we might see him on Hawkeye this week. But
Yeah.
you didn't hear that from me. If anybody watches Hawkeye, we might see him soon.
That was definitely his laugh, dude, as the uncle. That was for sure him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Have you been watching Hawkeye?
Yeah, it's good.
You like it? I do.
like it a lot.
Honestly, I think that's probably been my favorite a Disney Plus show that they've released from Marvel stuff so far.
Yeah.
I like
It's
Jeremy Renner, and, like, it's good to get a little bit of his backstory, a little bit just spending time with him,
yeah.
uh, caring about him. I respect a dude that doesn't have powers,
Yeah.
that's just out there to just kick ass and just do what they think is best,
And being
and,
being pulled into it, and giving it the family feel cuz the dude's been trying to retire forever just to be with his family. He
yeah,
fin-
it's fucked up, and he can't even enjoy Christmas, he just
yeah.
he's always getting pulled into it.
Yeah. And it's his own past, which makes it a whole nother, dynamic. So thought it was really good.
In the comments, yeah, that's what we're saying, I think, is Sean is thinking that he's the uncle for sure.
That's got to be him. Yeah, that he had a little giggle when he picked up Echo as a
Right.
child. Dude, that has to be him. But the only weird thing is and they didn't show him, but it's like damn, so how old is he?
Right?
Yeah.
'Cause
So
they're gonna do the whole thing with, like from what I've read, it's just that they're gonna put, like, a fat suit because he wasn't, like, super big, in the Daredevil show.
yeah,
He was just, like, a regular big guy,
yeah,
but, in the comics and everything, and in this photo, he's just a super imposing
dude, and
figure, like, takes up a lot of space. Remember Into the Spider-Verse? He he was like a building, and his little tiny fucking head
yeah,
right in the middle. There's, like, this little circle.
yeah,
Um I don't know. I mean, that's like an over exaggeration of it, but that was like brilliant in design
yeah.
and artwork for that. That was like really, really cool to see that.
Yeah, I like that they took all liberties and just made it a hyper stylized movie, and it worked, and that's why we're getting that next one coming out
Yeah,
in October of
totally.
next year. So it worked
Um,
really well.
but yeah, dude, that's a great pick. I love it. I mean, he would be your funding for your team. Just like that ruthless aggression to
Yeah,
go out and do whatever it takes to make it happen.
yeah, and just his
Uh,
connectivity, dude, scares the
yeah.
crap out of me. It's nuts.
Dude, I'm just
So
seeing this now. And sorry, everybody. I have really bad ADD, but my fucking closet door in the back over here, it looks like something's about to jump out and like come for me, you know?
yeah,
I can't
if
even get past that.
if it does, I'll turn off the
I can't.
streaming. So
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
fucked up.
if
I
you
gotta
if
sleep right next to that. Um, Kingpin's coming for me. Uh, yeah, dude.
yeah,
Who is it?
you never know,
Yeah,
bro. He
creepy
could
as fuck. Yeah, I know, dude. I don't know what happened. Sometimes my cat sits in front of that door and he wants me to open it, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And, if I don't open it, then he knocks over my water bottle
yeah,
on my nightstand next to me. He'll knock over my remotes, like, one at a time now, and
shit,
staring at me, right
just to
right
annoy
next
you.
to my
Yeah,
face. And I'm like, "Dude, stop. Like, don't do that." I push him down,
yeah.
try and go back to sleep, he jumps up, and he knocks the next thing over.
Jesus.
And he won't stop until I
That's
open the door for him.
I feel like that's cats though, bro. I feel like that's a
Yeah,
choice.
yeah. It's a choice they make every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
He
well,
controls me. He does, dude. I love these little bastards.
well, shit, man. Speaking of little bastards, let's get into your second pick here.
Cool. Let's do yeah, speaking of bastards. Um So, funny enough, my next pick is actually the half brother of Chameleon. So my first pick, which is let me get a drum roll. Craven the Hunter.
Oh boy.
Heyo. So look at that outfit. Jesus.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. In the '90s cartoon, they had a version of this, and then I found this comic book cover. Um,
That's sick, dude.
yeah, he's
I
pretty
I need to
beastie.
wear that for sexy time next time. Just come into the room with a giant lion, like a
Just
lion head.
a poached lion face jacket.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Uh oh yeah. Sabretooth from X-Men. Yeah, I know, dude. It does have that feel to it, huh?
yeah, super
So
fluffy.
yeah, fluffy. So, Craven debuted in the 15th issue of the Amazing Spider-Man comics, which was the first issue, the first run through, the first storyline. So he very early on, 1964, and I wanted to pick Craven because Craven's a super interesting choice. He believes he's the greatest hunter in the world. He believes that he wanted to spend his whole life proving that he could beat Spider-Man, that like he was better than him. He hated using guns, he hated using bows, he hated using any sort of like weaponry. He believed that in order to prove that he was the best, he wanted to take everybody down using his bare hands. Um,
His
I mean,
little
although he
bare
did
hands.
yeah, his bare hands. Although he did use a mystical serum to give him strength that was similar to Spider-Man. It was never actually the same, but it was close. It was something to get them in the same realm. Um, and even though he was an enemy to Spider-Man, even though he was always like trying to take him down, he did have like a code of honor that he would treat his adversaries as equals until they proved him wrong otherwise. So I like that idea that like he could be on the fence, in terms of, like, because he does respect Spider-Man for sure. Spider-Man's bested him a whole bunch of times, and he still keeps trying to beat him, and his goal is to beat him, but he does respect it's like a thing, right? If, like, we were to fight and, I wanna beat you, but if you put up a good fight and you beat me, it's like, "Oh, I have a respect for you now, but I still
Yeah,
wanna beat you," you
yeah.
know? Like,
That's
that sort of thing, so
yeah, like a hockey fight. It's very gentlemanly.
yeah. And, like, boxing too, boxing's like
Yeah,
that, or good boxing.
yeah,
You have a respect for your opponent, but you wanna beat them, and if they get the best of you, then you want a rematch, and, you just respect the other person's skills and all that. But, Craven is brutal too, and he's got skills. He's an incredible hunter, super intelligent. Um, he would regularly ingest these, like, potions made from various, like, jungle herbs, um, which would give him these, like, superhuman physical abilities too.
yeah.
So, he was a physical threat. Um, they weren't as developed as the powers that Spider-Man had, but Craven in taking those herbs, his body was durable, more resistant to forms of injury, can withstand like super big impacts and like falling several stories or being struck by another superhuman being that would kill a regular person,
Yeah.
but wouldn't kill him. Really good hunting instincts, and just even without the powers, he was an awesome hunter. And I wanted him on the team because he's a hunter, he's a tracker.
He's
So
yeah.
we needed to go find somebody, send him out there. He's not gonna get caught. If he gets into trouble, he's gonna, he knows how to take care of himself. So and also the fact that he was the half brother of Chameleon, I just, thought it would be cool to have him on the same team together.
Oh, family.
I
Like
know.
what does Vin Diesel say? It's all about
Family.
the family. Um,
Fucking family.
no,
Except
great.
if you're The Rock. If you're The Rock, you hate him.
But dude, yeah, it's because they take each other's, the all the white teas from the stores. They're like,
Yeah.
The Rock beats Vin Diesel sometimes, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you took the last of the white teas." No, but
Yeah,
yeah.
fucking it's like a medium-sized T, but even though he's a double XL guy,
But
his
dude,
pecs are just like ripping through the t-shirt.
yeah, yeah. That's why
My
he
dad
started
boy
his
brother,
own.
fuck yeah.
That's why he started his own Under Armour company. No, but dude, great fucking pick, man. Yeah, Craven's always been, a great battle to Spider-Man. He's always, been able to hunt him down. And I
Sure.
feel like they're so evenly matched. And like, it's crazy because, being evenly matched and then having respect for yourself means that, when Spider-Man does beat Craven, he doesn't like web him up and call the cops or whatever. Like Craven somehow
Right.
just always, gets away, or Spider-Man lets him get away. So
Yeah.
great pick, because it also proves like a vulnerable soft spot for Spider-Man. So awesome
Yeah.
pick,
Yeah,
dude.
for sure. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Mel says he looks like Jason Momoa. Uh, Funny enough, they
That
actually casted, an actor to play Craven in the Sony little universe. So, they got Tom Hardy as Venom, they got Jared Leto as, Morbius, and they casted somebody for Craven to have his own solo movie. Do you know who that is, dude?
it's Quicksilver, but I can't remember
Yeah,
his name.
Aaron Taylor Johnson,
Yeah, Kick
who
Ass,
played
was that the
Quicksilver
other
in
movie?
the X-Men.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think of him as Craven, but it works really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I
super
think it will
surprised
too.
on
It'll
that.
be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So I'm pumped from Savages. Wait,
Um,
Savages? I don't think I've seen that. What is that?
yeah, I haven't seen Savages. Um, but it's a crazy ass movie, I guess. It's nuts. That's Mel's movie reviews. It's a crazy ass movie. It's nuts. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
crazy. It's
I-
nuts. It's Savages. Uh,
speaking of nuts,
yeah,
I'll
speaking of fucking
I'll
weird,
I'll
yeah,
jump
what's your
in.
next one, dude?
All right, my second one here. He is supremely nuts. He's definitely a nut job in the Marvel universe. I thought he would be a good opposite to Kingpin's, organized crime. We got unorganized chaos. So
Hey!
I'm bringing
There
in
he is.
Carnage, baby. Um,
Yes.
Kingpin's organized and brutal, and Carnage is just a whole nother level of brutality and way unorganized and just chaotic. So I feel like, like you were talking about the gentlemanly fight. I feel like when it gets like down and dirty, and if you're really trying to take somebody out, like something chaotic, who doesn't care about anything, or just has the eye on the prize just to take out this person, like I feel like you would need that to really succeed. So again,
Did you like Carnage in Venom too?
I thought, I hope we didn't see the last of him, because I was a giant Carnage fan and I thought he was a great reason for Venom to turn good and work with Spider-Man. So I really like that dynamic. But Woody Harrelson, the first time we saw him, his haircut was hella goofy. Um, his
It
hair
was
was
weird, right?
yeah, his hair was kind of weird in the movie, but at the same time, it's like a psychopath would just look fucking weird the whole time, dude. And I think Woody Harrelson, from Carnage that I had in my mind as a kid, I imagined him a lot more animated. Woody Harrelson was kind of more of a creepy, like real life, like psychopath. So I thought it was a good casting. I would have imagined somebody a little bit more wild, but if you're trying to take a realistic approach and a real like just weird psychopath, I think Woody Harrelson's a perfect casting.
Dude, honestly, man, I watched Venom 2 for the first time, I think it was last week, and I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it. I didn't like the movie. I don't think Woody Harrelson, and it's not his fault because he is what he is, and I think he's a great actor. I love him in a lot of other things. But I think it was the movie, the producers, the studio. If
Yeah,
like they were like, "Yeah, let's do Woody Harrelson," I would have been like, "No, absolutely not. Let's not do that. Let's do somebody like darker." Because Carnage is dark.
he
Carnage
is.
is supposed to be dark. He's a serial killer in
He's
real life. When the symbiote takes over him. So it's you need somebody that has that. What am I thinking of? Like I don't know, man. Like a famous serial killer, like somebody that's really cold and reserved and is not warm feeling. But like Woody Harrelson was like throwing out these like little funny jokes here and there, and like, it needs
That's
to be
true.
somebody more cold and calculated to
Yeah,
play him. Um, because like Venom already is over the top. And we're going off track here because now we're starting to talk about Venom, but just real quick,
yeah,
yeah, that the tone of that movie is already supposed to be funny. The interaction between Eddie Brock and Venom, and like the way that they speak to each other, like that's the comedic relief for the movie.
yeah.
So to have bringing Woody Harrelson's like, I don't know, it's a little weird. It's weird to me. It didn't fit. And then also it's over already. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry for everybody that hasn't seen Venom yet, but uh, it's over. And so
Hopefully
it's
it.
weird, and because the Carnage is such a huge part of the storyline,
Yeah.
and he's already gone.
Hopefully they find a loophole somewhere. But yeah, man, I feel like it was a different take for sure. And yeah, you're
Yeah.
kind of right. Venom had enough jokes. Venom had enough sass. Like he could have carried that portion of the movie. I feel like if they got, somebody else just a little bit more like physically wild or chaotic, or
Totally.
even if we saw like a dark Jim Carrey, he would have been sick. Um, you know,
Dark Jim Carrey.
yeah,
Like
what was
the number 23.
yeah, something
Remember
that
that? You watched that movie?
yeah, he could be creepy, dude.
Could be
And
creepy.
terrifying, and terrified himself, because like imagine like this fucking hell bent symbiote like takes you over. Like you have to be a psychopath to not be scared shitless. So,
Yeah.
um, but
I
yeah,
just
man.
wanted it to explore more of Carnage, you know? Like I
Yeah,
wanted
I
Carnage
hope we
to
see
I wanted
more.
to get like more story about the way that he thinks and the way he is and all
Yeah,
that. I mean, it's Venom's child, so
yeah,
that I know it kind of glossed over it a little bit. It's like, oh, I'm the offspring or whatever. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't even
yeah,
remember what it said. I'll be honest, because I was falling asleep. But uh, it just needs more love,
yeah.
and I
The,
don't think they gave it love.
no, it's definitely a dynamic property, and hopefully, I hope they find some way to bring him back and make him more of a bigger threat. So yeah, man, that's my number two. My number two pick.
Ugh. Sorry, Mike. He hasn't watched it yet. He was disappointed when they first introduced Venom in the older Spider-Man movie. Oh
Oh
yeah.
my
Oh
gosh,
dude.
dude, that
Topher
was a
Grace.
nightmare. I
Jesus.
was mad as a kid, like watching that.
Yeah.
Um,
Because like, we grew up, I know we talk about it often, but we grew up watching the 90s animated series, right? So
yeah,
we have this like image of what Venom is supposed to be.
yeah.
And then we saw fucking Topher Grace from that 70s show. What's his name in that 70s show? Uh
Eric,
Eric.
yeah,
Eric Foreman. We saw Eric Foreman playing Venom.
yeah,
And it's like, oh my god, dude. That was
yeah.
so
It made
lame.
no sense, and yeah, I truly think they casted him just because he looked like Tobey Maguire. So it's like,
I don't- I- Hey, you know what, though, dude? I see this meme on Instagram all the time, and they're like, "Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man went hard because they had all the villains going to church, wishing death upon this guy to God.
that's very
You know,
true.
like they hated him that much that
Yeah,
they had to go to church and pray for God to kill him.
dude, and
Like, damn.
even the way they did Venom in that movie pissed me off as a kid. Like they did the black suit Spider-Man, and it was like an edgy like Tobey Maguire. It was like, dude, nobody fucking believes this, man. Like just shoot
Oh
finger
man,
guns. That's what a symbiote would do.
I love finger guns, dude. But yeah, that was not the right context to
No,
drop the finger guns in.
no,
The finger guns have to be really well placed,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know? In
exactly.
the right place, right time.
Um,
Uh, fuck, let's get back on
yeah.
topic here.
Who's
We,
your
kinda went way off the rails.
let's get to your number three, bro.
Let's do it. Who's number 3? Jeez, who's number 3? Alright, I guess we're gonna do this then. Number 3 first appeared in the Web of Spider-Man comic series back in 1988, the year that I was born, so I had to choose this guy. His name is Tombstone. There we go. See,
Mhm.
dude, I thought that's you put the Tombstone on accident on the other one. It
No,
was like, "Hey,
it's the flat top, bro. That's the difference. The
this is the
flat top
flat
and the
top."
nose. Um,
That is the '80s flat top.
yeah, and
The working out.
yeah, exactly. The
It looks like
strong man.
Ivan Drago from Rocky 4.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, and they look like partners, him and Tombstone. So I thought it was a great pick. A great pairing. They're menacing together, and then the fact that Chameleon can switch to look like Tombstone, and it just looks like twins.
Yeah.
Great choice, bro.
So his name is not just Tombstone. His actual name is Lonnie Lincoln, which I love. That just does like Lonnie Lincoln. That also sounds like a superhero name, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Lonnie Lincoln. But I wrote this down because I love the explanation that was given online for this guy. Here's his description. It's a one sentence. Depicted as a hulking albino man with filed teeth. Tombstone is a notorious crime boss in New York City. The end. That's it. And I feel like you can get that based off of just looking at him, you know?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
suit. Look at those shoulders too. Just fucking straight across.
Built
Bam.
built like a door for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh so he originally, if nobody knows what Tombstone is or his powers or anything like that. So Tombstone, he didn't start off with superhero, or he didn't have superhuman powers, but he later gained them through an artificial means as like he had a reaction to this experimental gas that was absorbed in his bloodstream. And it's always a gas, right? Like we were just talking about
Always.
earlier. It's like it's always a gas. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you want powers or you want to become a supervillain, let's do gas.
Gas or
Uh
acid.
yeah. Or go take mushrooms. Um he so after he gets hit with the gas, he gets this physical strength, that increases his strength like way beyond the superhuman level of what we have. His body is really resistant to injury. He's capable of withstanding extreme temperatures, like really big impact forces. He can withstand bullets and toxic gases without sustaining any sort of injury. He's got superhuman like reflexes, speed, stamina. Um, but without those things, before he even got that, he was an excellent hand-to-hand tactician. He was a good fighter. Years of street fighting experience because he just grew up like a regular guy, like gangster on the street. So he knows how to fight. Which I mean, if you already know how to street fight and play dirty, if you get superhuman abilities that just make that go to the next level, then you already have an advantage over other people.
Yeah.
It's like there's fighting and there's street fighting, you know. So what is it? Bruised Wang says it's never lift weights and eat your veggies.
Uh,
Always pulling the Lance Armstrong. Ah, there you go.
exactly. Yeah,
There
roids.
you
That's a great name too.
go. um, without the ball cancer, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, dude. Tombstone's a
um,
scary dude. Great, great pick. Just another brutal, super strong guy. I feel like he's, in the Kingpin realm of things. And I feel
yeah.
like Tombstone might be a better team player than Kingpin. So
Oh, Kingpin. Yeah, Kingpin will kill his own guys.
yeah.
So like, what's that is interesting because you got Carnage on your team and like he'll double cross anybody or Kingpin will. So good luck with that.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Trying to organize anything's gonna be a nightmare, but it'll be fun to watch.
but as an but he's also an albino Tombstone, so he's sensitive to sunlight. Um, he's usually like whenever in the he would be like only depicted as being capable of speaking in whispers. So I'd be like very whispery, very like this. I'll speak like this. You're like, what? What did you say? You know what's going on? But yeah, that's how he spoke.
It must be
But after he got the
his
the,
filed
the
teeth.
gas,
Yeah.
wait, what?
I was saying it must be his filed teeth.
Yeah, his fucking filed teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like filed into razor sharp points, but it was just an intimidation thing. It was never he never actually like used them to bite into people because that would be weird. That's weird, right? It's like nothing else is weird, but
Nothing
like
else.
that's weird.
That's weird.
But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to have like the typical mob guy on my team too. So you pick Kingpin. It's like, all right, I'll pick Tombstone. He's weird. He's
You got
albino.
to.
He's got sharp teeth,
Yeah. Well,
and I love his
shit.
shoulders.
It's all about the shoulders, bro. Yeah, great fucking pick, man. You always got to have somebody just brutal and organized, kind of crime boss, on your team for these things. So
Totally.
great job, dude. And with that, I'm gonna jump right into my next one. This is some dude that has actually helped out Tombstone, and when Tombstone was about to die, this dude saved him by giving him a fully adamantium skeleton, bro. This is our
Mm.
boy, the other freaky looking one, Negative Man.
Oh, I love that you picked this guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
It-
Yes.
yeah. I totally, I haven't played the new Spider-Man PS4 game. I haven't played, any of them where they actually have him in there. So he hasn't been on a lot of things. He wasn't in a lot of things for a while, like in the 90s cartoons. I don't think he ever made an appearance, but he's been coming back, and hopefully we see him, in the MCU at one point. Because this dude is scary, man.
Hmm.
He's actually, he started out as the leader of Feast, which was kind of like a homeless shelter giving back to the community organization. Something happened to him I forget his origin, but something happened to him where he got this, this appearance of, being a full negative like image. And
Yeah.
with that came a shit ton of powers, dude. He's on record, he's stronger than Spider-Man, which is, Spider-Man's one of the strongest people like in Marvel.
Yeah,
Um
absolutely.
he's got the power of mind control. He's got the power and mind control through just a touch. He has the power, like he has a ton of like a full demon army, and he has the ability to create these demons. Um and like I said, he can super strong. He can kind of phase shift through the shadows, and like the dude's just scary, and I feel like he's completely underused. And the fact that he, on record, he's stronger than Spider-Man. Not only is he super strong, but he's a martial artist. And it says, I can't really fathom what this means, but he has the intelligence in martial arts beyond the normal human realm. So it's like, I don't know if a dark demon like taught him martial arts, but somehow he knows more martial arts than any human being, human form. So it's like,
Beyond the human realm.
bro, yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's
insane.
vague, but that's also, like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And
I hear it.
it's like, dude, why isn't he showing up more to like whoop some ass? Like, is he overpowered? And like, recently he's been in things, but I feel like he's held back the whole time.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, man, it's a fun one. And the fact that, Kingpin has like his organized crime army that he can tap into. This guy, is a crime boss as well, and he can make his own army. Like, I just feel like, it's a numbers game with Spider-Man. If you can overwhelm him with demons, a demon army, and then also like a real gangster army, and then
Yeah.
you throw in a little chaos in there with Carnage, and Carnage has the ability to create more symbiotes. Like, it's just a nightmare, dude. I feel like I'm going more the like a organized chaos like mess route when trying to take on Spider-Man.
Yeah, dude, you make that shit happen, man. That's a good pick. Yeah, just whatever you gotta do to take him down. But I love these picks because they're all, I mean, besides I think Kingpin and Carnage, I like, dude, Negative Man, that's such a great pick. Like, does anybody here that's watching, do you guys know shit about Negative Man? Have you ever even heard of a Negative Man before?
Yeah,
It would be interesting to know if you put it in the comments because that'd be dope.
yeah, he was in
I didn't know a lot about it, but, like, I would see him pop up and when I would read comics when I was younger from time to time. Ah, Mike says that's a negative, man.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude, so it's good to know, it's good to educate because, like, yeah, I didn't even dive too deep into his backstory. There's so many storylines that these guys pop up in, and, like, their story changes from time to time,
Yeah.
and, but, like, that artwork that you have popped up there, I'd like to dive into. Is that one of the newer ones? It looks like it was a newer
Yeah,
version of him.
it is one of the newer ones. And the thing I touched on, Mel says please explain. The thing that I touched on about him being able to um have mind control over people.
Yeah.
He's had mind control over Spider-Man. He's had mind control over Venom. He turned Venom into anti-Venom. Um, dude, he's had mind control over it wasn't Hulk, but it was another Hulk-like character, this giant beast. So it's not just mind control on anybody. Um, I think Shang-Chi was the only one that could fend off his mind control in the comics. So it's like, dude, the ability to
Mm.
take control of somebody, like Spider-Man came super close to killing somebody before he was able to fight off the mind control. So it's like, I feel like that's one of his biggest powers. If he's not going to beat the crap out of you, he can just, with a touch, like he just has to lay a hand on you, and he's in your brain. So
That's interesting, man. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was reading about that too, because, like, I've read something and it was like, oh, it jogged my memory when I read that earlier. But Spider-Man can kill anybody in the whole universe. He can kill them, but he doesn't. He holds back 95% of the time
yeah,
because he knows that his full strength. would actually kill people, and he doesn't want to kill people, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that's never really brought up in live action stuff, and nobody knows that, right? Because he's a kid, so well, I mean, now he's a kid, but in all the iterations we've seen, it's like Spider-Man would never kill somebody. No, never, never, ever. And but he totally has the ability to, and I've read it from Stan Lee and like a lot of the other writers that have written Spider-Man comics that it's common knowledge within that community that he has the ability to do that. Nobody just writes that stuff for him, but that's why they all argue that he is the strongest Avenger. Is that Spider-Man can kill anybody because he's stronger than anybody else. But he doesn't. He chooses not to, which makes him very heroic.
Yeah.
Very, I'm not going to kill anybody sort of thing.
The classic struggle.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, dude, and just looking at our pictures right now, I just realized that I got Negative Man with the white sport coat. I got Kingpin with a white sport coat. And then we got your
yeah,
two, with the black.
yeah.
It looks like we got some rival gangs here, dude.
Oh, we're going for it. Is it going to be my Sinister Six versus your Sinister Six?
That's what
Is that
it's
what we're
looking
doing?
like, bro. The white
Yeah.
coats versus the black coats.
You see the comments, dude?
Superman
Mike
with
wants to see a world where superheroes go 100%. And then yeah, they would just murder everybody.
yeah,
Uh Not on purpose, but I mean, if you think about it, because then it starts to get interesting. If you had powers and you saw somebody getting, mugged, like some lady or whatever, some kid, whatever's going on, right? You just see somebody that's clearly they don't have the strength to defend themselves
yeah,
and they're getting mugged at gunpoint. What are you supposed to do? Uh and that's not saying go murder them, but you're gonna use your abilities
yeah,
to do something about it. And if
yeah.
there's collateral damage in it, and they is that justice?
It's
Or like is it wrong?
yeah, it's easily excusable in a human brain. You just write it off as like, yeah, they were bad. They were doing bad. So
He says crush them. That's what you do. Yeah. I mean
yeah.
yeah,
If
you
you're
crush
ever
them. You
if
crush them, baby.
yeah,
You take your strong pecs and you put their head between your pecs and you just squeeze as hard as you can.
That's funny.
Oh boy. What are we 3 down? Shit, we're only 3 in.
Yep, yep.
All right. Well, what's next?
Keep jamming. So we got your number 4 pick, man.
Holy shit, dude. I'm looking at my last 3 here,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like the one that I want it to be my last one, I no longer want it to be my last one. So I'm gonna I'm gonna audible here. I'm gonna audible here at the fucking 1 yard line,
That's fine.
and I'm gonna pick Hobgoblin for my next one.
Hell yeah.
Hobgoblin, baby.
The star of the 90s
Boom.
show,
There
man.
we go. I love that image you chose too.
Yeah. I'm no, like a more demonic version. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, dude.
Absolutely. So Hobgoblin first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man number 238, which is, the original storyline was The Amazing Spider-Man. So that was 1983. Which is not Green Goblin, it's Hobgoblin. And he's inspired by, his predecessor, which is Green Goblin, and who uses similar goblin themed weapons and equipment. They look exactly the same. One's a little different than the other. Uh, the first person to do Hobgoblin was Roderick Kingsley. There's been multiple people, by the way, to wear Hobgoblin. So there's been Jason McIndale in the 80s and 90s, and as early as the 2010s, it was Phil Irwin. No, it's Phil Urich. So multiple people have worn it, but the most prominent one in the first one was Roderick Kingsley. Um, he as Hobgoblin, he's got this bulletproof suit with this cape cowl. It's a computerized system. It's basically the same exact thing that we see Green Goblin doing. But you're just taking up the mantle, you're just continuing it. Green Goblin, obviously, we know is very popular from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. The first one with uh
Willem Dafoe.
William Dafoe. Dude, I couldn't even remember it just now.
Yeah,
I couldn't even remember his name. That's bad.
but he's coming back,
Because
baby,
it's
and
9:17. It's because it's 9:17 and we're doing it later tonight. So
this is your bedtime. No, yeah, he's coming back, baby, and I can't wait. He was one of the best villains in that early comic book hero
absolutely.
movies. So it's great, dude.
But, you know, Hobgoblin is just it's carrying it on, and I love the Green Goblin so much. So, you know, if the Green Goblin if he's dead or if he's gone or whatever, you know, Hobgoblin's gonna take his place. Uses the same thing, so he's a copycat. So he's got the what is it? The you know, his little glider, his little
Yeah,
one man glider, and
he's
his
got all the
little
tech still.
super sharp little things that he throws at people.
Hmm.
His pumpkin bombs, and I loved when I was a kid too. I loved that he was wearing a little satchel to carry everything in.
The
You
man
know, it's
purse.
like everything is super high tech from him, but he's got this little satchel that carries all his shit in. It's
Yeah,
just really his super powerful weapons.
as Bruised Wang says, nice man purse, Goblin Man. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
It's
and
like, yeah, you want to intimidate somebody, you wear a man purse,
leather
you know,
satchel. You got
a
all the tech
leather
in the
satchel.
world. But yeah, dude,
Mhm.
I feel like Hobgoblin's more of a trickster and jokester than Green Goblin, so I feel like
Yeah.
he's a good pick. He always, crosses people like in the '90s cartoons and in the comics, and yeah, man, I feel like he's just more like unhinged, a more unhinged version of Green Goblin. So great pick,
Well,
and
'cause, Ned Leeds played him for a while,
yeah,
which Ned in his current iteration of Spider-Man in, you know, with, Tom Holland
yeah,
is, you know, Ned, his buddy, his
his
friend,
buddy, his high school buddy. So we could
and
see
he
him.
gets, in the comics, he gets brainwashed, brainwashed into doing all these things as Hobgoblin. So it will be interesting to see what Marvel does in these movies to see if they try and steal that same storyline,
Yeah, if
you
they
know,
go that
and
route.
brainwash him to do it. Maybe we'll see it in this movie. You know, we don't even know. We don't know what we're gonna see
How
next week.
yeah, and what a great way to pass the torch literally from Willem Dafoe. If he brainwashes cuz apparently so the feast thing that I was talking about that Negative Man runs is
Yeah,
apparently going to be in the new movie too, and it's kind of where Green Goblin is tricking people playing a homeless guy. So he's going to be at this feast kitchen where Tom Holland and his friends are helping out. So it's like, bro, like
yeah.
that would be a great time to kind of and a great vulnerability to kind of corrupt and brainwash. So, I fully can see it happening. So hopefully hope that would be a sick turn, man. That would be a sick twist that didn't really leak and only, people like us who are dive way too deep into this shit like see coming. So I feel like that would
Do
be
we?
sick.
Do you think? And little side question here. Do you think all this shit that's been leaked is because it's so easily leaked? You know, it was so like out there in such an early period of time. And, you know, Marvel doesn't play like that. They don't leak any of their shit.
Yeah.
So early on, I was like, oh well, Sony just that's just what they do. They suck. They can't keep their shit in house. But whether this is a huge ploy and you know, all of these leaks that have been going on are not actually leaks. They're just things to throw people off and spark discussions. And then the movie ends up being something totally different than what we didn't even expect.
That's a good way to disappoint a fuck ton of people.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it would.
honestly,
Yeah,
dude,
it would.
I think these leaks, these quote unquote leaks, are just another, way of like cheap marketing. Because it's like a shoe in to go viral. And every marketing company is looking for the cheapest way to go viral nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
like I all those things about like, oh, the new iPhone, somebody left it at a bar and then there's leaks. Like I just think that's all cheap marketing
Right.
because it's like
Because yeah,
you
you would
you
get murdered.
yeah, and you spark all these different YouTube channels and discussions and give these people content to talk about, you
Totally.
know. It's for free essentially. So yeah, man, I think it's just marketing, bro.
Well, um, yeah, I mean, I didn't pick Hobgoblin I didn't pick Rubber because it was the strongest person on the team, but I like when I was a kid, I loved the way that he looked and the way he was animated,
Yeah,
and, I just wanted him to be on the team, because, like, that's cool. I mean, they still didn't do I mean, with the Green Goblin in the original Spider-Man and this one, I thought they might maybe they would change it up and, like, maybe give him some prosthetics and make him look a little bit more, like, comic accurate, but I think they're only gonna give him a hood and still have his regular face,
he has
which
goggles.
I was a
Yeah,
little bit disappointed when but, I would love to see an adaptation with where it's, like, somebody's face is totally disfigured
yeah,
and,
and
I don't know, we'll see.
I could totally see Ned being down for that. You know, I feel like MCU has done things a lot better than what Sony did with these properties. So
Yeah,
hopefully, or MCU, you know, Disney, Marvel. So hopefully, you know, we see that passing of the torch in this one. It would be sick, man.
yeah.
Dude, great pick.
You're up, buddy.
I am up, man. All right, so number 4, I'm gonna go with somebody else that kind of has a kind of like a mixed background. You know, you were talking about passing the torch, and this passing the mantle. I'm
Yeah.
going with Prowler. He's
Yes.
he's had a
Look at that suit.
Yeah,
I
man. I
love it.
I chose a little bit of an older one, but I do like the story of the new one. So Prowler, you know, he's been around for a long time. I think early 60s, maybe 70s. And he's just been a sick his old backstory was that he was I'm mixing him up with somebody else now. But his old backstory was really, you know, meaningful. He wasn't treated right, you know, in his life. He always felt like he was wronged. And so he wanted to really become a superhero to help people, but he thought the big thing, you know, his big moment to save somebody, he actually thought he killed Peter Parker. He ended up trying to save somebody else. He ended up pushing Peter Parker out a window and thought he killed him, and a bunch of people saw it. And so he started to run from that. And then Spider-Man actually catches up with him, and then somehow in his mind he turns it around that Spider-Man was the one making him look bad. So that turned him into a bad guy.
Yeah.
And you know, he had all these gadgets. You see on his wrists, he had a bunch of like pellet projectiles with like gases where, you know, Spider-Man had him in a corner, he'd use a gas and jam out of there. So he's very like spooky and mystified, but his with that, you know, he's also got his claws. So he would, you know, have this huge smoke battle and then just come at you with these claws. I don't know if the claws are adamantium or some other material, but it's one of the strongest materials around. Um, s-
Probably adamantium then.
yeah, so I like that backstory. Um, and
Yeah, it's interesting.
I like part of the new backstory that they gave him in Into the Spider Verse, where he's actually, you know, Miles Morales is the new Spider Man. He's actually Miles's uncle. Um, and his
Oh,
back,
that's right.
yeah, and his backstory in
That's
the new
right.
one. So I like that connection because in the comics, when they explored a little bit more, he actually ends up trying to blackmail Miles Morales by saying, "Oh, I'm gonna, you know, I'll out you, you know, to your
Right.
parents. I'll out you to the public." He goes, "You're built like me. We need to be doing crime. We need to be criming around." But you know,
Criming around.
Miles, you know, resists that. But and Miles's dad, who's his brother, they both had a history of crime, and then his, you know, Miles's dad went the direction of becoming a cop and kind of, you know, righting himself and, you know, changing his ways and growing up. So the fact that even Miles's dad has the same background as, you know, being a thief, being a, you know, graffiti artist and just jamming around the city, you know, and the fact that his uncle just didn't change out of that gives it a super tied in history with Spider-Man. You know, it's really entangled. It's like your uncle's the evil dude who knows who you
Yeah,
are. Um,
yeah.
you care about him, but at the same time, he's bad and you know what he's doing is wrong. So I like that dynamic. I just don't like that they gave him a role as just kind of like a cat burglar. Like this dude.
Yeah, you could have gone a little deeper, especially with the backstory. You could have like taken that in a lot of different directions, and Into the Spider Verse, like you said, that I totally forgot about that because I didn't see that. I've only seen that movie one time,
Yeah.
and the when I did see it, I wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to see this. It was just like, oh, I want to put it on and watch it, and it blew me away. You know how awesome it was. But yeah, if they, if we see a storyline like that they try to give it into the Spider Verse. Yeah, dude, like make it very personal, make it close to home, make it somebody that knows, like like you said in that movie, it was his uncle, and
Yeah.
he loved his uncle very much because his uncle was like teaching him uh how to be a good human being, a man, but also he's like this person,
Yeah.
this other secret that he's got going on, and that's very very cool. And so that was a really good direction they went in, and so
Yeah, and I feel like
also
it introduces a vulnerability that could,
yeah,
open up
for sure,
weaknesses. Yeah,
absolutely.
Bruised Wang was saying, I don't know about
I
this
love
Prowler
that name.
guy.
I love that name, dude.
Yeah, he's saying compared to all these other guys, he looks like he's just wearing some tough jammies and is one therapy session away from being a totally normal guy. That's the thing though, because some of the most evil people in real life and in comics think they're doing the right thing. So whether it's the original backstory where he thinks he wants to be a superhero and he thinks he was wronged by Spider-Man and he's trying to seek this personal justice that Spider-Man's really a thug. And then you have just enough people like J. Jonah Jameson, saying Spider-Man's also a thug to make you personally believe that your goal is good. I feel like that's really dangerous. And then, the other version where he's tied to Spider-Man genetically, I feel like that makes him super dangerous. So it's more of a psychological game with this guy and with this choice. And I think, he would open up either way, he would open up Spider-Man to just being vulnerable because the old backstory, Spider-Man actually sympathizes with him when they had some dialogue. So Spider-Man's like, fuck, like, I understand you think you're doing the right thing, but it's not. So I feel like
Right.
just that mental weakness that he opens up and Spider-Man can give any of the three other guys that I have, the leeway to just murder him. So that was the my thinking behind the pick. Like not the physical abilities, but the psychological game I think would be strong. Regardless
Hey,
of which
Bruce,
which
you don't
Spider-Man.
think Carnage is one therapy session away from being
Being
a
a
normal
normal.
guy?
Well,
You know?
the maybe Cletus
This is
Cassidy. Maybe
yeah,
Cletus
no, it's
Cassidy. He might have a
Cletus.
chance, but
Yeah, no, no, I know what you mean. But I do like, I like those colors. It looks just, I mean, he looks just like the Green Goblin in the comics, and
yeah,
they he's got the Spider-Man eyes.
yeah.
Spider-Man eyes, also Wolverine eyes too, because if you see the black on the sides, how it's going up with
Spawn.
that really sharp angle,
Yeah.
and then like he's got the adamantium claws. So it's like they're like, hey, let's take two characters and let's mix them together and see what we got for an animation
Yeah.
style.
We've already
Um,
made the pieces of the toys, so if we can just
yeah,
combine the same pieces and parts,
yeah,
make a
yeah. The
new
studio.
toy. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey
Uh
guys, if we could reuse some of this shit, that would be really good for us.
oh man.
The writers are like, no, absolutely not. But yeah, no. But as
But
long as
you're
the
you're
studio's
writing our
good,
paycheck, so
yeah. He's like the leftover guy. Yeah, he's
exactly.
like the leftover guy.
The leftover guy with a great backstory. Um
Yeah, with the semi interesting backstory. It depends on where you read it from, but
yeah.
yes.
But yeah, man. That's
Shit, are we
that's
ready to
my
go for
number
the next one?
4. Yeah, let's get into
Dude,
your number 5.
and for everybody listening, Sean and I really wanted to try and like run through some of this stuff so that way we can get to other segments. But like I'm looking down at the stream time, it's 1:24. Fuck. We're really going a lot more than I thought we would.
Yeah, we can save the super special for next time for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we'll
because
we'll
that'll
get in.
be
We'll still get into some icebreakers maybe, or if you want to, if you'd rather do one or the other, we can do that too. We can switch it up. I'll
we'll
throw it up to
we'll
you.
we'll see what happens at the end of this one.
Yeah,
Uh,
and if you want to, we can do these last two in tandem.
everybody's still watching, so I don't think everybody's super tired yet, which is good. Thank everybody
For popping in
for
here and
what
staying with
yeah,
us.
for humoring us, and watching us and giving us comments. I think that's great. Uh, we're only entertaining sometimes, but I think we're entertaining for enough tonight, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
uh,
enough chaos
all right,
went on.
let's do this. Next one, I'm gonna throw one out there for you and for everybody else that I don't know that this is gonna be cool, but my next pick was Molten Man. I'm gonna go right into it.
Let's go.
No backstory yet. There we go. Let's pull up Molten Man. There it is. So Molten
Get the
Man,
full body in there.
yeah, Molten Man. Molten Man first appeared in the number 28 issue of the Amazing Spider-Man series in 1965. So the original comic run, number 28, a very very early on villain. His name is Mark Raxton, which I love that name. Uh, sorry, I was looking
Cap-
at
Captain Planet's
Captain
brother.
Planet's brother.
Captain Sun.
Yeah, does look like Captain Planet, dude.
Or is it Captain
It is.
Planet's son?
Yeah. Yeah, Molten Man. So Mark Raxton was a chemical engineer. Brilliant, brilliant guy. And he wanted to get rich. So he that was like, that's kind of some backstory, just like how you want to be like if you were to get powers and you wanted to be rich, I feel like if you got powers and you wanted to be rich, you're gonna use your excuse me, you're gonna use your powers to go and get rich, right?
Yep,
Um, or if
100%.
you were like helping people, you're gonna use your powers to help people.
Yeah,
But
it
so that's kind of
amplifies.
just yeah. So that just kind of like shows where he started from. But brilliant because he was a chemical engineer, right? So he had the smarts, but if your life goal is to get rich, then there's probably something to that. And he was caught in an accident where his body got covered by this experimental organic liquid metal alloy, uh, which granted him superpowers,
Yeah, here we go with
and
the
he became
chemicals
Boltman.
again.
I
That's
know there's so many. It's
thanks
always a
music,
chemical experiment gone wrong, or
gases. Yeah,
yeah, it's gas or anything like that. So I mean, his abilities are the ability to generate extreme heat and radiation. He wanted to turn to a life of crime once he got his powers. He wasn't originally a bad guy, but he's like, all right, I want to get rich. I have these powers, so I'm gonna do bad shit, and let's go to a life of crime. And so he was, Spider-Man's one of his enemies. And let's see, I wrote some shit down here, and because I didn't honestly, I'll be completely transparent with everybody. I didn't know a lot about Molten Man.
oh yeah, who
Molten Man to me was more of a reach. I was like, hey, I'm gonna pick somebody here that I don't even know anything about just to have him on my team.
an obscure.
Yeah. So, um, his skin absorbed all of this experimental alloy, right? And it turned his external tissues into this body of like a solid metallic substance, which is what you see on the screen there. And it's a frictionless metal, which I'm not sure what that means, but it's a frictionless metal that grants him this high degree of resistance to like sort of any sort of physical injury. So it's like body armor.
Yeah,
He can't get hurt. Uh, his metallic fingers are sensitive enough to pick locks, which is another reason why I wanted to pick him. Because like if you're gonna go break into places, let's have the guy that can actually pick locks and break into places. So he can break into places. He's an expert safe cracker. His skin is so slick, and this is another reason that he can't be restrained by Spider-Man's webbing.
that's a major one because that's
That's a
Spider-Man's
huge one.
number one move, dude.
That's Spider-Man's thing. That's his this is his whole deal is his web. So yeah, if you can't be restrained by that, what do you got?
Yeah,
Um, his skin can generate intense heat, Anybody who tries to touch him or get close to him, they're gonna get burned because his skin is so hot. 300 degrees Fahrenheit, to get technical. So
He's
that's
so hot right now.
basically very fucking hot is the technical term for
And
that.
yes, he's gold. He
Yeah.
loves gold.
Yes.
Um,
And yeah, I mean, he's not different than any of the other villains I have on there. He's thuggish. He's just a guy that wants to, get money and power and fame and all that stuff. So he's not different than that. But the thing that sets him apart is just that he's very, very smart. So he's got the brains.
yeah,
Uh, he's sane. He's not insane. He just wants to have money. So he just wants to be a very, very, very good villain who can use his abilities to better himself, get money, power, all that stuff. I mean, he had a bachelor's of science in chemical engineering, so he's he's a smart dude.
yeah,
And you got to have the smart guy on your team, and that's why I wanted to put him on my team.
yeah. He's got brains and brawn, man.
Yes.
And like his motivation of just wanting to be rich,
Yeah.
turns a lot of people evil. So it's very, very relatable. But it's always nice to have, he's a good brute strength guy while also being the brain. So it's a good mix, man. Good pick.
Yeah. Thank you. Bruce says, "Is he gold?" Um, it's not gold. I think it's
It's molten.
some weird like molten.
He's
He's a
molten.
molten man. Yeah, he's molten.
He's not gold man, he's
Whatever.
molten man. No.
Yeah, the one on the periodic table that says molten, that's the one that he is.
That's
Uh,
him.
it looks gold though.
Um, Definitely looks gold. Great pick, dude. And I'm gonna jump into my fifth one here. I'm going
Yeah.
with the yin to him being the yang. I'm going with our boy Hydro Man, baby.
Yeah.
So
Look at that.
this dude, where Molten Man is, can be solid metal. This dude is pure water. So he's and these two, they did make a cameo, kind of. I wouldn't call it an appearance, but in the last Spider-Man movie, Mysterio had his elemental monster projections.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was going to be Hydro Man and Molten Man.
Right.
Because both of these guys can, I'm pretty sure Molten Man can do it too, but they can grow huge. So we got, Hydro Man is able to make a tsunami, and he's
Totally.
in the next second he's able to walk around and appear, like a normal human being. Yeah, and like you were saying with Molten Man, I didn't really know too much about Hydro Man. I do remember him from the 90s cartoons. But when researching him, I thought it was crazy too, because his origin story had to deal with Spider-Man, fucking up. And like Spider-Man doesn't fuck up a lot, but
Right.
he was actually, so Hydro Man was on a ship. And it was in a weird story. Spider-Man was overseeing like a science slash construction project of this rich organization hired these people to bring this. They were trying to study like deep ocean shit, which is,
Yeah.
sidebar, we should leave deep ocean shit in the deep ocean and not mess with it, because you might get a Hydro Man. But basically they were lowering science equipment down into like the deep depths, the bottom of the ocean.
The
Spider-Man, for
deepest
whatever
depths.
reason, yeah, Spider-Man was there to oversee it, dude. No idea, why Spider-Man was overseeing like the science project. But the guy, of course something goes wrong. The equipment, the power cable gets severed, and as they're lowering it into the ocean, the power cable that's hooked up to the equipment starts whipping around the ship. Spider-Man trying to capture it and, tie up this cable that's basically a live wire running around a
Yeah.
ship, that could kill somebody. When he's trying to chase it down, he knocks over some crates, which actually knocks over this dude into the water. The power cable hits the water right as he's near the science equipment, and it basically turns him in. It liquefies the guy. Spider-Man, goes down. He dives into the water just to rescue the dude. Watches the dude go through the boat propellers and somehow come out the other end unfazed. So he Spider's the project
I
manager
know,
now. What
dude.
the fuck? Yeah,
I was looking at the comments. I know everybody
100%,
who
man.
watches the podcast later on, or watches who we listen to. It's gonna be really weird and awkward. But yeah, that we were looking at the comments. The comments are super fucking funny right now. Um, yeah, these stories are insane, Mike. It's a,
Yeah, this was
you
like
know,
70s, 60s era where they got really weird with stories.
it's so funny though, because like that's what they thought was gonna turn us into superheroes, and now it's the COVID vaccine. It's gonna be now if they write a comic book about us in the future, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, somebody got hit with the Pfizer, and on the second one they developed superhuman abilities
Yeah.
to you know not be an asshole or something. It's just like something stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It all comes with the time. And
100%.
everything is changes, but yeah, back then, like, to hear these stories because 'cause they're all similar, we keep saying, like, "Oh, like, they got hit by this gas," or they got, uh,
Chemical,
a
whatever.
serum,
Yeah.
or, but nothing crazy and different. I don't know, we haven't come up with a different kinda superhero yet.
Yeah. And, Hydra Man, I wanted him on this team because, having another type of element, I have a symbiote, I have a demon dude, you know, um, Kingpin and Prowler are very human and very normal like, but then having another element in there with Hydra Man, being
Yeah,
able to liquefy and just have a tsunami like, ready at any time just to wipe out and make a mess of everything. you know
powerful.
yeah, he can attract Spider-Man to, there's a fucking tsunami randomly in the middle of America or wherever. Spider-Man's gonna come and fall for that trap. So that was my thought of picking him on here. And with that, dude, let's get into your last pick.
Alright, let's do it. Yeah, that was great. I mean, basically, he takes out Molten Man. It's water with
It's a
water
wash.
with fire.
It's a
Yeah, it's
wash.
just a wash for them, so Alright, last one. This guy, first appeared in the original Spider-Man comic run, The Amazing Spider-Man. This was issue number 19 that he first appeared in 1964, and this is Mack Gargan, which his alias is Scorpion.
Classic, dude.
So, we saw Scorpion last in the recent Spider-Man. What was it? Was the
Mm,
first one. It was the one, Homecoming.
Homecoming.
It was like the last post-credit scene. He was in prison or something, right? And, like, he was the one that was talking to Michael Keaton. I mean, he didn't don the suit or anything, but it was the guy, the guy
Yeah.
that was, in it. So, Scorpion. Um, so let me see here. Where am I at? I know. I'm over here like,
No
I'm
worries.
looking at my cat fucking walking all drunk, next to me. It's really distracting.
Yeah, no
Um,
worries, dude.
dude, I know.
You
I'm
went
gonna
through
go off on
some
a
brutal
tangent. I
stuff.
wish I wish you guys didn't, catch me at a weird time, but, like, he's over here walking and he's like he's like this.
It's
He's, like,
wobbling.
falling over. I feel so bad for him. I wanna help him up, but, like, he's gotta figure it out on his own. He just needs to lay down and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Um,
Like we all do when we're just blacked out
dude,
and
he looks
wasted.
he looks wasted.
Yeah.
When it's so fucking funny, when I feel terrible that, like, because, he doesn't
Yeah.
feel well.
100%.
Anyways, Scorpion, so Mack Gargan, um, he initially, way back in the day, 1964, J. Jonah Jameson, he wanted to know how Peter Parker took pictures of Spider-Man. So, he decided to turn Gargan into this adversary for Spider-Man, um, with this barely tested, legal procedure, and something similar to how Green Goblin did it in the Sam Raimi movie, right? You're just like, "Oh, there's this experimental thing. Let's just inject ourselves with it, and we'll see what
Gas or
happens."
chemical.
Yeah, it's a gas. We'll say it's a gas. It's a chemical. It's a serum. Uh, it's all of them at once. So he took it, and it left him in this really weird state because was unable to remove any of the scorpion theme armor that came on with him, but he was able to get the physical predatory instincts of a scorpion. So he was also driven insane by it, just similarly to the way that Green Goblin was in the Sam Raimi movie in the first one. So he was driven insane. He turned into a life of crime. He was uh he was terrorizing both Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson, who he held responsible because he was the one that was trying to, you know, orchestrate the whole thing.
Yeah.
Um, his powers were he's got a scorpion's DNA, which I mean I know that sounds very on the nose, but it is true. So he has arachnic-like powers, very similar to Spider-Man. A little bit different, but he's got, superhuman strength, speed,
Climb
agility,
buildings, right?
reflexes, yeah, stamina, durability. He can scale walls. It's not the same way where his hand sticks, but he's like punching holes through the walls with his fucking little tail that's going through. But his tail also, it's got it's like shoots these gases and like this nerve gas and all that stuff, and is also able to use it as like a battering ram too. And so uh he's just like a maniac. He's a fucking like the Carnage on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpion is more like him. Um
Oh yeah.
just having that kind of that wild card who has strengths similar to Spider-Man, but not completely.
Yeah.
I mean, if that suit was off of him, it wouldn't even be a close fight. But having somebody on your team that's kind of a wild card, having somebody on your team that's not really gonna listen to you, somebody that's very strong, somebody that is just has evil intentions.
Yeah.
I wanted to have that on my team as well. So and Scorpion's been around for a long time, super badass. I just wanted to have him around, and, that's why I wanted to have him on my team.
Yeah, and dude, the thing that you hit on that I completely forgot about with him is that the fact that, he was an experiment and that, went horrible and they like that suit is flashy because it was meant to be flashy, and then the
Yeah.
fact that now he's stuck in it, like that would drive anybody nuts, dude. That just sucks.
Yeah,
That hella
like,
sucks.
if you couldn't change out of what you were wearing, you
Yeah.
know how fucking crazy that would be?
Yeah. Yeah, it would drive anybody nuts. Great pick, dude. Great wild card, and I feel like, when all else looks doom and gloom, for our villains here, I feel
Yeah,
like the wild card will switch shit up and just throw a curveball at Spider-Man. So great
totally.
choice. Great team, great overall team, and I feel like, you know, like on my side, I try to balance chaos with organization, and I feel like you got it on yours too. Um,
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I mean, right now, all the graphics that are up, I mean, barring your last pick here, uh, there's a really wild looking bunch of villains.
it is, dude. It's yeah.
Yeah, really fucking diverse.
Yeah, I feel like either team would be good adversaries for Spider-Man. And
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I told you guys, I got the demon guy, I got a water guy, I got an alien, and then I got two, you know, one guy who's taking on Spider-Man psychologically. The other guy, is taking on Spider-Man just brute strength and pure numbers, with his organized crime.
Yeah.
This guy is just purely to scare the shit out of everybody. I feel like this guy, I'm going with my boy Mephisto,
Yeah.
which is basically the MCU's devil. And I feel like, when all else fails, even if, Carnage, isn't able to bring the battle and make the battle go nuts, I feel like Mephisto can just turn everything on its head, dude. And
Yeah, dude.
I feel
Hell
like
yeah.
yeah, I feel like this team would absolutely crush Spider-Man. Like, doesn't matter which Spider-Man, it doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter circumstances or anything, dude. I feel like this would be a perfect team. And I'm like, okay, maybe I went overboard on the power. Maybe that's why, we haven't seen any of these guys be in the Sinister Six. But we're when we're picking teams, we're trying to win here.
Mm.
So I feel like, dude. I,
Mike says even if Spider-Man goes 100%.
Oh yeah. Which direction? 100%. 100% trying to kill everybody. Like Negative Man is stronger than Spider-Man. Negative Man knows more martial arts than any human
Ugh,
being.
100% power, baby.
I feel like that
Uh,
would be a great match, dude.
it that's a tough team. I think that, when you're writing comics, right? Or you're writing stories in general, like you have fans that are like, I like these characters more than the others. Like these are more receptive to others.
Mm-hmm.
And like you have little standalone issues of, something with a Kingpin or something with Carnage,
Yeah.
something with Mephisto, like one at a time. But putting them all together, nobody's ever done that before. Like we've never seen those six people before. We've never seen these six people on my side before,
Yeah.
and so I don't know, man. Like maybe there's a reason why they don't put them all together because like it might be too tough.
I think it's too
But
much. Yeah.
yeah, the original Center Stick, or not the original, but the one that we're seeing now, and the one that we're going to see next week, or we should say five.
So
Potentially
far.
6, we'll
Yeah.
see. I mean, I think Marvel's saving something for us, to go to the movies to watch. So we'll see a 6th that day, but, you know, there's flaws in all those people. Um, you can't put too many powerful people together in the same room, otherwise, like, you're not gonna win, so the hero has to win.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, this would be very interesting to see the Mephisto too, because he's very powerful. And everybody wanted to see him pop up in all of these Disney Plus shows that have you know, they wanted to see him in WandaVision. They wanted to see him in Loki. Everybody was like pointing out, like, oh my God, there's like a devil image in the background. That's
That's
going to
him.
be
That's
him.
got to
He's
be him.
coming. He's coming.
Yeah.
He's coming. But yeah, he didn't come at
That we
all.
know of.
Yeah, at all. Well, yeah, not yet. We would see it. Um, yeah, join the after dark party when we'll talk about how Mephisto comes. Um,
The spawns of Satan. Um,
yeah, we'll see something.
but
But
yeah.
yeah, dude, that's a great pick. I mean, because he's very deceitful, very magical too. But he's got a whole different skill set. Obviously, Kingpin doesn't have superpowers, but there's you have a diverse, well-rounded group of guys that are bad intentioned.
Yeah, and I looking at this group, I couldn't think of place, Spider-Man can escape to. You go to a different realm, Mephisto's got you. You go to a different country, or try to hide somewhere else in the world, Kingpin's got you. Like you try to go, to the ocean, fucking Hydra Man's got you, dude. And then between the last three there, like you can't go to space, you can't go, you can't try to hide anywhere. Prowler's gonna get to you mentally. Like I just feel like there's nowhere to run, man.
Dude, if our team was combined, it would be over.
Yeah, it'd be a
Because
nightmare.
you are not hiding from Craven. He's the
Exactly,
best
dude.
hunter in the world,
Exactly.
and you're not hiding from him.
You can't
Fucking
behind a lock. You can't hide behind a locked door with Molten Man. He'll
no,
pick it.
you can't, dude. No, you can't. With Chameleon, you can't.
Yeah.
Watch your back. I mean, your best friend could be Chameleon. You
Yep.
don't even know. Uh, so there's a whole lot. I mean, dude, great picks, great teams. Um, to everybody watching, we wanted to pick people that were not super, super, super popular, people that are more in the shadows, so that way everybody gets a little bit more knowledge about some of the other characters and like this is just strictly Spider-Man villains. So as you can see, with the ones that are always playing on the movies, the ones that are always on TV, like we see those all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of these other ones that are not so much known. Hopefully, you guys learned some stuff. That was the main goal for this, is to just be hyped for Spider-Man. It's coming out next week, but also teach you guys some stuff about some other villains that maybe you didn't know a whole lot about.
Yeah, man. So this is it. This is our Sinister Six teams, and
Or
Marcus
Sinister 12.
Sinister 12.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know we're a lot a bit over what we wanted to keep the segment at, but
sure.
I think at least we got time for for 1 or 2 icebreakers?
Got some stuff. We still have 5 people watching.
Indeed. So,
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
we're
we still have a few people watching. So here, guys, Sean and I wanted to do this thing where, it's not we're not just talking about superheroes. We're not talking about some of this other shit that's kind of like goofy and all that stuff. We want to give you let you guys know about who we are too as people, so that way you even care enough to watch next time. So I wanted to do this thing where I will ask Sean a very silly question. Or, I mean, last week we did like the philosophical thing, and that was very cool. That was awesome for us because you got to see how we think about things. But there could be also silly questions where you just want to see how we might react or respond to something, and to get to know us a little bit better. And so, Sean, I'm going to ask you this question. Uh, it was, it's very silly, but
okay.
I think that you might appreciate this. It's a very silly, fun question.
I'm a very silly, fun man.
So, please tell me why pizza boxes are shaped in squares when pizzas are round.
That is a good question, dude. My instant guess, for where my brain instantly goes is stackability and, being quick to fold and cheap to produce, dude. So I don't know if there's a real answer to that. But that also, the other thing that comes with square and leaving room in the box is that
Mhm.
you, everybody, when you scoop up a slice of pizza and stuff falls off of it, you everybody gets that scoop. So I feel like, leaving room makes sure that, that the extra crap that falls off of the pizza after you grab a slice, like it has somewhere to fall. So I feel like I'm going with stackability and just, ease of the workers there, because that's 2 extra
Do you
corners, man. If you're trying to make it round, that's 2 extra corners you gotta fold,
That's
bro.
anybody who's still watching in the comments that's actually remotely interested in some of this shit, like, why do you guys think that a pizza box is square and not circle when a pizza is circle and not square? You know? What the
Yeah.
f what does that even mean? Why? Like, Is it is it actually a stackability thing? If it's the same thickness though, The pizza's the same.
Yeah.
It's not changing. So thickness is like thrown out of the equation, I think. Uh, it's like a circle pizza is not going to be thicker than a fucking, in a square pizza or a rectangle pizza, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know that is the thing.
Like, just to clarify, the stackability, I feel like corners are stronger than the wall of like a circle. I feel like the corner points can hold
Oh,
hold more weight, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And be
Mike
more
says Detroit
stable.
style is rectangle. uh, Bruce says not all pizzas are round. That's true.
Yeah, dude. You
Not all
gotta
pizzas are round.
you gotta
But
respect
do you
all
I mean,
shapes
the
and
majority
sizes,
of
dude.
pizzas?
We gotta
Mike
respect
says
all pizza shapes and sizes and
pizza foldability possible. So, I guess so, right? Because if you have multiple pizza types, squares or rectangles are gonna win out. If you have a place that, does that style of, like, rectangle pizza, like House of Pizza, for example, in San Jose,
yeah,
where we live, they do, like, these, like, huge rectangle pizzas, and so the box has to fit in that shape because if it was a circle, it wouldn't fit.
yeah.
So maybe they just think about doing the boxes in a rectangle for universal, like universally, because if you're gonna do any sort
It
of
fit.
pizza,
Yep.
it's gonna fit in that
Yep.
shape. And that's probably where it comes from. But it was just interesting because, whenever we get the majority of pizzas, they are very circle.
Indeed. Indeed, dude.
Like 90% of the time, they're circle.
That's a good question. And I now I'm wondering if what came first, the square pizza or the square box. If
Mm,
somebody was making pizzas and they're like, why are we wasting this space? Why don't we just fill up the corners, charge a little bit more, and it'll be a specialty thing that people will come here for.
Dude,
Um,
is that gonna be a thing though? Like on the menu, no, it's like square pizzas or rectangle pizzas are gonna be, 23.75. And then but if you want the circle pizza, it's 22. So
it's
it's a dollar
20
less.
bucks or something.
What are
Yeah.
you gonna do though? Like, are you gonna get the cheap one and get the circle? Or are you gonna get the dollar more, but the rectangle, and then it fits in a I don't know. I don't know. This is
I
weird, dude.
still think
A weird thing.
the circle's a better servable piece because it's like if you get a square one and you're trying to get a all cheese with no crust, you got to have like a fucking pie server, dude, and it makes no sense.
Mike's thinking about it. Mike says circle one might have more crust, which he doesn't really want.
Yeah, 100%. But if
Yeah.
you gotta have tools to get that cheese out without touching hella people's shit around it, dude. Like if you're trying to take in the middle of a birthday cake, like that's like surgery right there. You got to be precise and not touch like all the shit around it.
He's
Um,
laughing. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know, weird question, right?
Very weird
But like
question,
nobody
dude.
thinks about that kind of shit. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's fun. My question to you
Oh, here we go.
is a little less concrete answer possibility. This one, is going to tell us a little bit about your priorities. So, if your house was on fire right now and you can only grab 3 things before you left, what would they be?
Oh, come on, bro. That's fucking tough.
Your cats are already safe.
Okay.
Yeah, both your cats are
So
already safe.
they're safe.
Yeah.
And when you talk about items, what are the stipulations here? Is it like if I talk about my computer system, I have speakers hooked up to it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Those
yeah,
are
we'll just
items in itself. Is it like a whole if I'm talking about like my whole work from home thing, is that one thing or is that all the things? Because
I
there's a
would
couple of things that are involved with it.
I would feel like your computer would be like your computer system and your monitor. We can go like video game rules. So it's like you don't have to be
Mike
able to
says, "I'm
carry
gonna
it
grab
all.
the circle pizza." Yeah, actually, I might, dude. It depends on what kind it is. If it's right now, fuck yeah, dude. I'm grabbing that pizza right now,
Yeah.
especially after the day I had. Um, okay, cats are safe. So, okay, here we go. Computer system. That's number
Okay.
one. Computer system meaning my desktop monitor, which
Mhm.
is my computer, right? It's built into it. My speakers that are with it. Keyboard, mouse. That's everything all in one.
Mhm.
So I'm taking that. Number one. Number two, I'm taking my guitar. I need to take that with me.
Mhm.
That needs to come, Sean.
Then that
It's
that'll
there's
keep you
there's no
sane
there's no ifs, ands, or buts
when
about that.
everything's gone.
Coming. Um, and I love how I'm looking around the room. What do I want to take with me? Uh, the last most important thing. Yeah, this is tough, dude. I feel like I'm taking for granted a lot of the shit that I have in my place in my life.
It also makes you think about, what's really
Yeah, like what
necessary
am
and
I gonna
shit.
take? Oh my god. Um, wow, dude. I don't know that I have an answer for the last one.
Chat says one thing means one thing. If you go to Best Buy and buy a computer, they don't throw in a vacuum in a phone case.
All right.
They don't
If
do
we're gonna
that at
get if
your
we're
Best
gonna get
Buy?
a Bruce the Wang. Uh, if we're gonna get literal, let's do it then. I hear you. I hear you. That's the thing. So, all right. My iMac is number one. So my iMac is my computer with my monitor, and that's the same thing. And that's all in one. My camera, which you guys are looking at right now, is attached to my computer, so that would come with me. The keyboard and mouse are separate things. They're wireless, so I'm not going to include that. I'm not going to be super technical. So my iMac with my camera is coming with me. That's one thing. I need my monitors, which, funny enough, Mike is on this call and sold me these monitors. Which, dude, these are great. I love these things. They sound fantastic, and I love mixing on them. They sound really awesome. So, that's one thing. My monitors over there. Oh no, one, two. There we go. Uh,
Tottenham Zombies has a comment for you.
let's see. Would you go
You
for
would go
PC
for
stuff? Why not take phone bag? Well, my phone is gonna be in my pocket. Uh, hopefully,
so that's a
right?
given?
Um, well, all right.
I'm just being hard on you, dude.
Let's play devil's advocate and do semantics here, right? Like it's my phone is gonna be right in front of me. It's right here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be in my pocket. If something's going down, I'm gonna shove it in my pocket as fast as I can.
Yeah, I'm thinking
No thought involved in it. No ifs, ands,
yeah,
or buts. Like it's
I'm with
happening
you.
quickly.
I'm with
So
you.
that's going. My Apple Watch on my wrist. You know, it's happening very quickly.
It's connected to you.
Uh, uh, what's the other thing? Bag, wallet. Wallet's in my back pocket. I have terrible back posture because my fucking wallet is always just sitting on my left side. So my left shoulder or my right shoulder is probably like hunched like this because I'm always sitting on my left side. That's it's just gonna be it's gonna go with me for sure. Uh, what else is there? Bag. Well, I guess clothes. Maybe that's the last little bit.
Okay.
Clothes that I really love. Um, I don't know though, dude. You know, like you could be. Do I have a bag that I want to take with me? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Those things
it's
are
tough.
feel more replaceable than
Food.
a few other
Let's
things.
say food.
Pizza, the pizza.
I'm gonna take a circle pizza with me.
Yeah. That's a
Mike
good
was right.
choice.
No, but you know, if there was an emergency, you're gonna take whatever food you got with you.
100%.
Go into the cabinet, just fucking take whatever you got, throw it into something, and walk away. There it is.
Nice.
That was a really long-winded answer, but
Yeah. It works though, dude. Um
what do you got, Sean?
I'm thinking, you know, if my wife and dog are safe and it's purely just me being selfish for my shit,
Yes.
I would probably say so your monitors and your computer were two different things, right?
Yeah, after Tottenham Zombie
Called
called
you
me
out.
out for it. Yes, those are two separate things.
Okay.
Wow, I took my computers and monitors as two separate things. That's what I'm taking with me. My priorities are
It's
really
circle
fucked up.
pizza, dude.
Yeah, and it's circle pizza on the
I
last
would
one.
so I have like all of our like passport and like all that shit. You know, we have it in one little zip briefcase. So I'm taking that thing. I'm taking my my it's tough cuz you know, I have my laptop and then my computer. But I'm probably taking just that briefcase with all the important shit in it, passport, like you know, wedding certificate, birth certificate, all that shit, and then I'm also
Yeah,
taking
there's
my,
a lot of different shit right there.
but it's all in one case.
Well, we gotta be okay. We gotta be
I'm
technical.
taking my bag that has that in it already. I'm not gonna empty out that bag and then just just take those.
All these guys, I'm looking at the comments, dude. Check this out. Bruce, yeah, dude. I mean, am I gonna take my mattress and out? If and you know, I don't even know what kind of emergency we're having here. So
It's a
if it's like a
fire.
fire or an
Yeah,
earthquake
it's a
or
fire.
is it a fire,
Mm-hmm.
dude? Like you know what I mean? Like, am I gonna fucking like take a gas serum to my face and try and carry my mattress downstairs by myself? You know,
Yeah,
or I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, I would love to sleep on my bed.
it's
But then
a
if I bring a mattress out to the park in your situation, is like other people are going to be fighting me to try and sleep on that mattress too.
yeah,
And then I have to kick some ass. And then you know, then it turns into a whole other thing.
yeah. It just escalates
I
from
don't want
there.
it to be like that.
No, so
Um,
I'm taking that briefcase with all those papers and documents, and then I'm taking my PC, and then I'm taking my my Cintiq, my big drawing tablet, so I can make some money to get back on my feet. Um, so I would be right there next to you, fighting the homeless people in the park while you're making music. I'll be trying to draw shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be making beats for you guys while I'm homeless in the park with
Yeah,
no mattress. Um, yeah, Tonem Zombie said it seemed weird to him. Burning building and a dude runs out with a PC tower and a monitor.
and a
A
pizza.
great long answer made much more sense. Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. It's sometimes I'm just talking out of my ass here. I'm just trying to make sense of the questions that Sean's asking me.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's right or wrong. I just
there's
I
no
might
right or
even I
wrong,
might
bro.
even grab something different than that when what I just said. If it's in the moment and it's real weird,
Hmm.
I could be like, hey, I need the last 3 beers in my fridge, and I feel like that's the most important thing,
Yeah.
or like a fucking pack of Q-tips because my ears get clogged really easily. You never know what you're gonna
Yeah,
think of in that moment,
yeah.
but yo, Bruce, let me know what you want to take. Well, you got 3 things,
Three
and
things, and it's a
3 things.
wildfire in your apartment,
Okay, yeah, because Mike asked just now, is it an apartment fire or a wildfire?
and it's a
Let's
wildfire in an apartment.
So, well, yeah,
The
like,
most
is it a
wild.
wildfire where you have, maybe 20, 30 minutes to evacuate before it's gonna engulf your whole complex? Or is it an emergency thing where you have to get the fuck out right now?
Right now. I'm going right now.
Yeah. Yeah, what is it? Is
It's
is it
it's
is it
a
that? Is
yeah,
it the
it's a
apartment building's on fire, you gotta get the fuck out right now? You have maybe 1 minute to decide what you wanna bring with you.
yep. And there's gases and chemicals coming in, and not, you're like, oh, maybe I stick around to become a supervillain. There's that risk in there too. But yeah, it's a
Yeah.
super emergency, fire. You got 1 minute. And I'm not thinking you got to carry it. I was thinking video game backpack logic where, it's like, oh, you have like 20, you can fit
Yeah, you
25
do this,
things. Yeah.
and then
It
you
just
have fucking
disappears.
everything in your backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your hands are free.
Oh, shit,
My green card. See, there you go.
my
That's a
green
good one.
card. There you go, baby. Hey, that ain't gonna matter anymore when everything's burned down. Or actually, you know what, it might. You know what? You know what would be really fucked up, and it would be kind of a funny skit, if it's like a whole new world when everything burns down, but like people, there's still gonna be white dudes that are gonna be like, "Hey, where's your green card at?" The whole world is dead, but like there's just like people with different skin colors than you,
Yeah.
and I don't
And
know.
people
It's just
still care about these arbitrary borders that governments
yeah,
put up.
you look different than me, so why are you here,
Yeah.
sir?
Yeah. This is my area.
It's so stupid. Yeah, it is. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, what is it there?
Green card, favorite t-shirt, and iPhone.
Tottenham Zombie says, I would take Superman 64 with me. I can't let that burn in the fire.
That's a good one. That
Superman 64. Holy fuck. Yeah. How could you not take that with you?
yeah, that could make you some money, I feel like.
Woof. Um,
That's all
great
three of
question,
your
dude.
choices. Yeah,
Great
man. I
question,
thought that'd
dude.
be a fun one for you.
Yeah, that was really good. Um, what do we have here? You want to do one more each and then we're done?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right, let's do one more each. Thanks for everybody for Bruce says I can pay for shit with my phone. Yeah, but well, I guess so, right? If there's a fire.
There
We're
happens to
not
be a
saying
fire at the
it's
bank too.
doomsday. We're not saying that like cell phone towers are knocked out. We're just saying a fire to our building.
Yeah.
So you are right, sir.
Yeah, man. All right. What's your second one?
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying.
Here, I can go. I got one on deck. So
Um Jesus. I had one.
I got a good one ready.
Oh, you're trying to go. Yeah, go, dude. Go,
Okay.
go, go, go.
Okay.
Go, go, go.
I got would you rather talk to all animals or speak all languages? I feel like that's a tough one.
Well, I'm gonna be a little biased about that today because I wish that I could have talked to my cat to ask him how why you like are you feeling bad? What is going on with you? Do I need to take you to the emergency room?
Yeah.
Do I need to spend almost 2,000 fucking dollars to make sure that you're okay? Uh, those kinds of things. So yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit biased about that answer. I would definitely choose to talk to my pets though.
Yeah.
I feel like I I run into more situations where I would like to ask them how they're feeling. Almost like you're having a kid. When they can't communicate with you yet, you want to know like, hey, like you look like you're feeling bad. Can you tell me what's going on?
Mhm.
I would love that.
Yeah, dude. And I feel like I'm right there with you because simply because I feel like I've met a lot more animals that I like than humans. Um
Yeah,
and I, for personal reasons, I feel like I could have a lot more capital gain, with speaking to animals
right.
rather than,
Yeah, no, for sure.
rather than speaking all languages. You can make some money speaking a shit ton of languages. Speaking this is speaking all languages, but and I feel like I would just, internally, just I would want to speak to animals a lot more than speaking to hell of people.
Just figure that shit out.
Yeah,
I mean, like if you're yeah, you would want to know if your boy was feeling bad, if little Michael was feeling terrible.
exactly,
You know,
dude. Exactly. That's
you would
number
want him to
one
say something
priority.
to you.
Yeah. And
Otherwise, yeah, you have to figure that out on your own, and that's tough.
yeah, I feel like Tottenham Zombies and Thanks Music, they're both going with all languages. Yeah, animals are way better than most humans. Exactly, dude.
Well, I I don't agree with that sentence, but you know, I've met some pretty fucking shitty people, so I don't know. There's some terrible people out there, and I'm not saying that my animals are better. I'm just saying, for the sake of an argument and discussion here, that like I've met some really bad people, and I would even fight to say that when I sit around with my cat or cats, that I get a less evil intention feeling
Absolutely.
with them than with certain people that I've met in my life before.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know
I'm
what I'm
I'm
saying, dude?
agreeing with you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I met a lot less shitty animals,
Yes.
than shitty humans that I met. So
Yeah.
100% going with talking to animals, dude.
Uh, Animals way they're just always going to say the same shit: hungry, angry, annoyed, poop, happy. Hey, but Mike, like, dude, I know it's hard to say, but like my my boys, my cats, they're a trip, dude. And I was a dog person growing up my whole life. And I was like, "All right, I'm gonna get a cat because my apartment is way too small. I don't wanna have a dog. I don't wanna have to do all this other kind of shit, to, like, run it outside and give it all the exercise because I knew that my career was, gonna be involved, and I was gonna have to do a lot with that, and so I was like, "Alright, I'll get a cat because I know that everything I've read from them, they can fend for themselves, they're
Mhm.
independent, they're gonna just, like, take care of themselves and all that stuff, right? All I have to do is put food down, clean their shit every so often, and that's it. I don't have to take them for walks. I don't have to
Yeah.
do all this other stuff. And I've honestly, man, in the last, I've had these guys now for 4 years, and I can honestly tell you that in these 4 years, um, cats are more more needy and more attention seeking and more emotional than dogs are. And I love dogs. I grew up with dogs my
Yeah.
whole life. And I didn't think that I was gonna feel that way. I got cats because I was gonna be like, "Oh, I can be more independent with them, and I can kinda do my own thing, and I can just let them be." But no, man, that's not the case. They need my attention 24/7,
Yeah.
and it's fucked up.
And
Like,
they're
I can't even leave them alone for 10 minutes without them coming and being like, "Hey," like, sticking dude, you see it when we're
yeah,
filming.
Kogashukoing
I have
you.
Koga Shuko come over here. and is like jumping on me and trying to like scratch me and trying to get my attention. Like, oh, you're not looking at me, you're not paying attention to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, buddy, it's fine. Relax, go away. And then he'll come back and he'll keep doing it over and over and over again until I pay attention to him.
Yeah.
And he's not even hungry. He's not even hungry. He doesn't want to eat.
He
He
doesn't
doesn't
need.
want any of that shit.
Yeah.
He just wants me to acknowledge his presence.
And if
And I'm like, dude, I didn't know that cats could be like that,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. They're yeah. Uh they're definitely, I would feel like they're definitely a lot more dramatic. I feel like a dog can be emotional, but I feel like cats can be dramatic. And what I mean is like a dog, if a dog does something wrong and he knows it and he fucked up, like you can read it on their face. But
Yeah.
I feel like a cat is more intentional with their emotions, where, if they feel like being, just a dick, or they feel like, like, I don't care what you're doing, like, look at me. Like, I feel like they're way
Yeah.
more intentional with the dramatics there.
Yeah. It is very intentional, man. Um, and I didn't think that that could be the case
Yeah.
until it started happening.
Yeah. And just imagine being able to have an intellectual conversation with them, be like, hey, I see you. I'm doing this,
Uh,
we'll catch up
so
later.
couple things here. Bruce says, "Sounds like my daughter, Marcus." And hey, buddy, you know, I get it. Hey, like I'll give you one real quick thing. I'll be laying in bed, right here behind us in my bed. I'm sleeping, and I think 3:30, 4 o'clock rolls around. That's around his time, and he gets hungry, and so he will jump up onto my nightstand, which is you guys can't really see it here, but it's like right in that corner, right where the little arrow is. You can't
Hmm.
really see it, but right there, I have a lamp. I have my phone charger and all that stuff. I have a bottle of water that will sit there so I can drink in the middle of the night. Um, dude, he'll come up and he'll jump up there and he stares at me. And I won't wake up because he's not making a noise yet, and it's fine. But he'll fucking take my water bottle, no, my bottle of water, knock it off my nightstand, and I will wake up. I will jar awake. I'm like, oh fuck! Like there was a loud noise.
Yeah.
I turn. His face is like this close away from mine. He's staring at me, and I'm like, I'm like, dude, like I'm like pushing him away because I'm still trying to wake up. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I push him a little bit away. He's still on my nightstand. I notice my water is on the floor, and then I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I turn. I go and try and go back to sleep, and then all of a sudden I hear, and he's batting my phone closer and closer to the edge, and then he bats it on one last time, and then the phone falls off, and it just knocks all the way down as it's falling.
Yeah.
And then I wake up, I jolt awake, I'm like, dude, all right, I know you're hungry, right? All right, fine. And I'll go feed him, and then it just he knows how to push the buttons to get you to pay attention to him. And he's not being a dick. He's just like he knows how to it's like if I wanted to talk to you, dude, I would text you. If you didn't answer me, I'm like, all right, I'll call you.
Yeah.
It's just like that sort of like pushy sort of thing, and I respect that about them because it's very they're very smart, you know,
Yeah.
to be able to figure out like you're not going to pay attention to me this way. All right, I'm going to do this, and then they just keep finding ways to to get you to react to them.
Yeah. Keep trying, make more noise and do more
Yeah.
shit.
The
So
little shitheads, and it annoys
100%.
me, but I love it. I love them.
Yeah. There's nothing like that company, and always having, somebody there waiting for you. So
Yeah.
100% get the torture feel. So
Yeah.
yeah, dude. So what is your next question you got for me?
Uh, this is gonna be really really random, but can you give me 5 seconds?
Okay.
I'm gonna go empty my bladder.
All right. I'll pop on here.
That's as technical as I can get with you guys. I'll be right back.
five
Sean,
five
carry it,
seconds.
please.
Yeah, man. Um, thank you guys for sticking with us through this one. This one, I promised it to be a little bit different, and this one was a lot bit different. Not exactly what we had planned, but that's just how this live streaming thing goes. So thanks guys for popping in the chat. I appreciate you guys for showing up here. Um, I think you guys are homies, Marcus's. So thanks for coming out, showing your support and sticking with us. Like I said, we do this once a week. Normally it's on Wednesdays at 6:15. And it's a full blood podcast, so there's audio versions available on Spotify and iTunes. And then on Fridays we also upload this to YouTube. It might be a little bit edited. This one, I feel like we were relaxed a lot, and might have some dead moments. So we might
I don't
edit
think so, dude.
edit this video. Not
I
maybe
don't
not
think we had dead silence, actually.
yeah, maybe not dead moments, but maybe just going overboard on Negative Man or something random. But we're getting better. We're growing as this thing goes, and you guys are early in the days. I think this might be episode like 10, 9,
We're on.
maybe.
I think honestly, I think this is 8,
Yeah, somewhere in there.
8,
But it's
7 or 8.
still really early.
Yeah. Wait, are we hitting it? Oh wait, was there one more or are we done?
No, yeah, I'm waiting for your second question, bro.
Oh fuck, you were waiting for me.
Unless your second question is, can you go, use the bathroom?
Can you Koga Shuko?
There you go. You can.
Yeah. Let's do this. Oh, buddy. I really went a little bit far back.
I got another if you want me to just
Yeah,
read one
can
for
you?
us. Yeah. I
You go
got them
first.
on deck, bro.
Yeah, you're on deck. Let's do it.
Okay. So this will be the last one. We're doing this is a good one. Would you rather have every song in the world, but they're only covers by Flo Rida? The original question's Pitbull, but I feel like Flo Rida's a little bit more annoying
Oh man,
than Pitbull. Or
fucking Pitbull.
yeah,
He wears the same outfit in every fucking everything he does,
yeah,
and he's always like this.
the Kingpin.
The
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
time. He doesn't even say anything. He's just in the music video and just like this.
Yep. Yeah, he talks melodically. But so it's either every song in the world, but it's only covers by Flo Rida, or would you rather have one Flo Rida song that's covered by anybody? So basically you have one song done by a ton of people, or you have a ton of songs by one person.
Is it our Could we pick like one of our favorite musical artists?
Yeah, it's
We're not talking about just like Flo Rida or Pitbull, right?
the question was Flo Rida, but yeah, you can change it if you want.
Dude, I'm like, there is no fucking way that I'm gonna have Flo Rida do any of my songs,
Well-
and for anything that I want to do.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not your music. I'm talking about all music in the world.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I want to save the world from this kind of thing, so
Yeah.
I don't want Flo Rida to be on anything going forward.
Okay.
I want to save us.
So you would choose the same song sung by a bunch of different people.
Can I pick the people that it's being sung by?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's anybody. Everybody would cover the same song.
Zombie was like, "Who the fuck is Flo Rida?" Dude, you don't even need to know, my man. You don't even need to know, dude. Just
Hey, and
take it for what it is.
shout out to Tottenham, who's just browsing in the depths of the podcast, or talking segments here on
Yeah,
Twitch. I
dude.
appreciate you finding us.
Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, I mean, just to come in here randomly and just hang out with us. I mean, that means everything to us. It just shows us that maybe we're not as boring as we think we might be.
Yeah, and there's a little
For you
bit
to
of
stick
o-
around. So
organic growth around.
we're getting better at it. I promise we'll be better. But thank you so much for sticking around, dude.
Yeah.
Um, like we just said, it means a lot to us that you guys are here in the early stages and just listening to me and Sean talk about a bunch of bullshit. The whole thing is me and him just want to talk, and we want we figured that when we get together and do some stuff that maybe you guys might be interested in listening to what we have to say. So it's
Yeah,
very 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 cool when we see other people come and just stop by and want to listen and involve and integrate yourself into the chat. We're always going to be here, man. And so, appreciate you so much, man.
yeah. And thanks music. Thanks for clearing that one up. So let's
Yeah.
say the
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you, brother.
let's say the
Like,
song that everybody has to cover is apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
is that a real thing?
That song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like that's a
No
real
fucking way. No way.
yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's I think it's called Get Low or some shit.
Mike says, of course. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. So, wait, that's not the name of the song, though.
No,
The apple
I think it's
bottom,
called
that's just a
Get
lyric
Low
from
or
it.
some shit.
Okay. Oh, I see. I think I
Low,
know what
low,
you're talking
low,
about now.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that song,
Yeah.
let's say that's the only song everybody can sing. So like before every football game, before
Sean is great. Yeah.
like people, people, that usually instead of the national anthem, wherever you hear that song sung by
Yeah, totally.
everybody. Everything on the radio is all that song, you
It
know.
was in Tropic Thunder. Yo, Bruce, Tropic Thunder is one of my favorite fucking Oh, shit. Wait, hold on. That's not the one where,
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is
Yep.
is in
Jamming.
is that the one?
Yeah.
Dude, yo, Tropic Thunder Bruised is one of my favorite fucking movies of all
Tropic
time.
Thunder's good. Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I have not laughed harder. Dude, I watched it recently and I still laugh just as hard as I did the first time.
Yeah.
That
It's
shit is so funny.
the cast is insane, dude. Giant cast.
It's I can't even believe that that movie exists, you know?
Yeah,
They
100%.
all of these A+ actors that are just kind of like poking fun of their own industry
Yeah.
and the level of over the topness that they take it to is just it's such a fucking fun treat for me.
Yeah.
I love when you're able to like poke fun of yourself and to go into something like that.
Yeah.
And these
100%,
guys
man.
in their careers, they didn't have to do that, and they did, and it was so funny. Robert Downey Jr. doing that, like him in blackface, and that would never ever fucking fly.
And yeah, and
But
even
it did before, and there's even, a lot of black people now that would say that, they said they don't have a problem with what he did back then.
yeah, he somehow, did it tastefully. And I think the parody aspect helped it and the cosign, from a lot of people, prominent, people in that figure,
Oh, shit, dude. Bruce said he saw a debate recently about, blackface and Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
What did
it's
you see, dude? Bruce, what did you see? Did you see that were people in favor of it, or were they not in favor of it? Because 'Cause I've seen both,
yeah,
and,
same
I've
here.
seen a lot of, a lot of people be in favor for it, and a lot of people they weren't.
Yeah. And I think, the comedy aspect helps. You can't do it in any other type of genre. I just
Yeah,
don't
dude, I
see
mean,
there's any other way.
I feel like they did it in a really because it was obviously joking, right? The whole thing.
Yeah,
It was obviously
it's a
one big joke.
parody. Yeah.
You
And
weren't you weren't, like, making black people seem like they were lower than you or derogatory, but it was like you were making fun of
just an actor trying to take himself to the extreme. And
yeah.
I feel like the way they addressed it too was good where, what do you mean you people?
Dude, that is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was good. So I think
His conclusion was that the woke peeps say it was wrong in all ways. Dude, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but yeah, the everybody likes to complain about a lot of shit, and there's this. Yeah, you guys are tuning into us now, so you're gonna hear me say it, right? You're gonna no matter what. So I don't think that that's right. I don't agree with that statement. Um, I think that back then it was taken for what it was, which was a joke. I don't think that Robert Downey Jr. is a racist. I don't think that he's trying to put anybody down in any sort of way. It was meant to be a funny thing.
mhm,
That's the way that it was. And a lot of people that I've talked to about this movie, they've all and who are black, I have black friends, and they all say the same thing. They all say that like, "Hey, this was the funniest shit I've ever seen." Like, I can't believe that he pulled that off and he did that in a way that wasn't racist, in a way that was, funny, which is what it was meant to be. It was just
yeah,
funny, you know. And they poke fun of that the whole time. It wasn't like I'm white trying to be black and like, in a non-funny way. And so and I'm making fun of your culture. It wasn't about that. And like I don't think that anybody picked up on that sort of thing because that was not the way that it was.
mhm.
Um, you know, it's just there's a bunch of comments now. People are more sensible, understood what the point of it was. I'm canceling this podcast. Yeah, Mike. Thanks, Mike. Uh
Cancel.
Damn
Um,
zombie.
yeah,
Uh,
it's a fine line,
this
but
song's into Twitter. This Twitch channel is going down. Yeah, no, dude, we're done, dude. This
um,
is glad you guys tuned in for this one. This was our most popular episode. It's also our last. So
yep, we'll
uh you guys yeah. Yeah. See you guys. Um he didn't write the part. Yeah, I don't know. It's busted. Reported. Yeah, no, Mike's just showing this.
yeah, dude, it's a very fine line, and I think that's the only way, that's the only way it should be done is as a joke, just like the reverse, like with white chicks, um, you know, with some of the Dave Chappelle skits. I think it's all got to be, kept in the comedy genre and just kept, as a joke without, putting
Yeah.
anybody else down and making people feel less than. So and address it right on the nose, like in the same work of art. I
Sure.
think that was a great
And
choice.
that's the way that it was, it was I didn't take it any other way. Because sometimes, you might hear something and you're like, "Oh, like, they probably shouldn't have said that."
Yeah,
You
yeah, or
know?
done that.
But
Yeah,
I don't get that feeling either in that movie or even nowadays in general. Like, you don't ever hear that anymore. Now it's more like, oh, now everybody is like, either gay or bisexual or trans. There's like this whole push to have that sort of thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that like that's what's normal now is to push those things,
yeah,
and not so much now where it's like you want to have a parody and you know, make fun of an actor trying to take it to the next level. Do whatever it takes to take us to the next level.
yeah,
It's a lot more serious now than it used to be, and like back then, like you watch that movie, dude, like that stuff doesn't fly now. You can't release a movie like that, which is
yeah,
unfortunate because that is some of the funniest stuff you'll ever see in your life.
yeah.
Uh,
It's unfortunate, but the silver lining to it is that it's going to force a whole new direction and whole new something we another thing we haven't seen before and won't see again. So, it's going to force people to create and change things. So,
yeah. Uh, well, shit. I think we did it, huh?
I think we did it, man. It was
I think we
a
did it.
it was a cool show.
Mike says he watches Chappelle like a naughty boy. So do I, dude. Mike? Did you like the last special he did? I watched that I think 2 weeks ago. I didn't watch it for a long time. I don't know why I didn't see it, but I watched it recently and I I laughed my ass off. I get where he's coming from. Um, he did. Okay. So yeah, um, he was and like he played the long game with that. There was he must have signed this multi-special deal with Netflix where he's able to do he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna come back and I'll do this, but I'll do it for, I'll do 4 or 5 specials and then I'm
Yeah.
done with your contract, and we gotta do another contract."
Yeah.
So he did these 4 or 5, but he played it out with the whole, "I'm gonna talk about this on one, and I'm gonna talk about this on the other." And then on the next one, I'm gonna deal with the fallout from the one that I dealt with from before. And now we're gonna talk about this and talk about this. And it accumulated in this whole thing where like, oh my God, like now I see where you were really going with all this shit. Because yeah, I mean, trust me, I am a Dave Chappelle fan from way back in the day when he was doing his show and watching it in high school
Dude,
and
half baked days.
loving
Yeah.
every single thing that he did with it because I like things that push the boundaries, but within reason, within taste, good taste and all that stuff. Clearly he was joking with all his stuff, and
Yeah.
I I love comedians who are able to just like take things to the next level, and it's you're I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you're this or that because of what you said. It's more of yeah, you're a comedian, you're just trying to you're trying to get laughs, and
Yep.
it's
Mm,
tough because a lot of people will hear a comedian say something nowadays and be like, "Oh my god, you're this, you're so against us,
some
and we need to
assumptions.
cancel
Yeah.
you because you're being a fucking asshole." And, comedy is based off of being an asshole, kind of. It's
Yeah. Certain styles and
like,
shit. Yeah.
the funniest stuff is when somebody's being an asshole about it, but it's not true. You're just doing it to make people laugh.
Yeah.
But now we can't even make people laugh without somebody saying, "That offends me, you can't say something like that." And, that sucks because there's not gonna be anything funny anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's not gonna be anything nobody's gonna say stuff, and there's not gonna be comedians standing up stage doing these things where, you're like, "Whoa, he probably shouldn't say that," but it's also really funny.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't say it now if you say it, but you're not supposed to say it, you're like, everybody's like, "Oh, like, he should never be up there again on stage," and, like, nobody listened to him, he's canceled. And then bam, your career is fucking over.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a joke anymore, which is really terrible. That
Well,
sucks.
yeah. I have a little bit more optimistic look on it. I think it's gonna force, new breads of comedy, like just different shit. New forms, new styles. So it's not 100% right, but the world's never gonna be perfect. I haven't watched the Chappelle special, the last one, but it's not because of any of the cancel shit. I just haven't, we don't have Netflix anymore, and like I haven't tried to seek it out and download it. But that being said, I'm with you. Like comedians are people to tell some truths that we all think and don't say, and they are, um they do get away with being an asshole for laughs, and that's kind of what they were built on, just throughout history. But I'm optimistic that it's not going to cancel all comedians, or there's not going to be jokes and shit anymore. I think it's just going to stem a new form of comedy, like something like what Bo Burnham did during quarantine. Like his shit was hella funny. um Nobody was screaming for his cancellation and shit. I don't know if you saw that, but his quarantine thing was hilarious, dude. But and it's
Yeah,
just different
there's
comedy. It's a different style.
yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. He did something really cool. I I like more of the comedians that, like, push the boundaries a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
See, yeah, it's just
so,
different
like
flavors of ice cream
Bill
and shit.
Burr is one of my favorite comedians. He is my
He's good.
favorite comedian.
Yeah, he's really good.
Um, Tom Segura.
Yeah.
People that just, like when they do their comedy, it's like I don't really give a fuck about what you're saying. I'm gonna say what I want to say,
Yeah.
and but like that's not necessarily who they are as people. But
Yeah.
that's their style, and I that's the style that I find really, really, really funny to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So dude, I think those guys are going to exist. It's just in a different form. It's just like a changing of the guard to what's the most popular, comedy. So
Sure.
it'll come back. It's just we got to figure out this cancel culture thing and you know cancel it because it's just not healthy.
We have so many more viewers now than we did for our show. Maybe this was the
It's
topic to go into, was talking about comedians and cancel culture.
either that or it's getting late and we're getting the people who are down with
We're
just
getting the
rambling,
randos, huh? The
the
weirdos. Hey,
rambling,
all you weirdos out there that are still listening to us after almost 3 hours, thank you for showing up. Uh, Sean and I are just trying to be cool. Oh yeah, Mike says, "Here comes the weirdos." Um, yeah, dude, we're just
which is why we're
regular
still
guys
we're
just
we're
trying to
part
talk
of that
about shit
crowd.
that we. Yeah. Um. Well, shit, dude. Well, I mean, now that we have more people listening now than before, what do you want to go into another question? One last one.
Yeah, we can do one more, and then I think I'm gonna pass out on
We're
stream
gonna
after
do. Are
that.
we gonna do a fucking 3 hour fucking podcast?
If you, yeah, I mean we're almost there. So, but yeah,
All
after
right.
this, I'm probably gonna pass out. So it'll either just be you or we
All
can
right.
turn
Yeah,
off
I'm
the
not gonna
stream.
carry this thing by myself, everybody. So, when Sean goes, I'm going. But seeing as we have 7 viewers currently active, let's keep them going. Let's give them one more thing.
Oh,
Sean,
I got a good.
this is one of the ones that I was thinking about
Okay.
before, but if you had superpowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you use them for good or for your own personal use? And you have to be honest.
Yeah. Would
You gotta be honest.
my own personal use could be good, right?
I mean, it could be good if that's how you feel.
Yeah.
You would never think though that there would be days when like maybe you didn't Bruce is tagging him in. Um Bruce wants in on it. Uh hey Bruce, if you're really serious, we're gonna do guest spots coming up pretty soon. So, if you want to jump in on a guest spot one day, let us know. Hit
Yeah.
us up.
Yeah.
Personal use. Yeah, dude, hit us up. Hit us up on Instagram. Let us know if you want to do it. We'll talk. We'll get you on the show. But we're gonna do some guest spots coming up. Actually, we're gonna have a guest spot coming up pretty soon. So that's not another question.
Um.
Um, yeah, dude, here you go.
Yeah.
You're up.
So
Personal use, or you're just gonna be the typical superhero where you just do good things for everybody else and not for yourself.
1000% personal use.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shit that I don't agree with, and I'm not just gonna objectively, fall at what others think is the best thing. Because sometimes what's truly the best thing for the greater majority, people don't think it is. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
I want to make up my own mind about shit.
Yeah.
Like robbing a bank, personal use, personal but evil. Yeah, and but dude, honestly, like robbing a bank, if it's a corporate bank that, the top people are corrupt, personally, I would have no problem robbing the bank because you're not taking away the bank customer's money. You're taking away, the money that the company's using to fund their own shit. So it's like everything else is insured. So it's like, I there's like gray areas like that, and I usually err on the side of like, oh yeah, totally should have done this. You probably would have saved a lot more people rather than just this one person. So yeah, man, personal use, and then I would just make up my own mind about shit and follow my own moral compass. Like that's why I lean towards all those characters that do that, dude. It's like
Yeah.
it just makes more sense to me, to have your own moral compass rather than this you know, this rule, this guidebook, this invisible guidebook that you follow and you don't stray from. You don't make decisions for yourself based on
It,
the situation in front of you. You know what I mean?
it's hard, man, because yeah, there's so many personal things in my own life that like I would love to straighten out. And, if you have the means and the ability to do so, like look at my cat behind me. He's fucking giving me the eyes. Wait, he's not anymore. It was
Yeah, the Kokushuko
Hey,
eyes.
Bruce. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kogashuka. He's about to Kogashuka me right now. Look at him.
Hey, Bruce.
Dude, he's giving
That cat's name is actually Bruce.
Yeah, I know. What's up, buddy?
You guys are brothers.
He yeah, so I mean, if you had powers to do whatever you wanted to do, everybody's got stuff, that they want. Maybe you have a debt, maybe you have people bullying you, maybe you got something going on, right? You got
Mhm.
something going on in your life where you could actually use those abilities to help yourself get out of something like that.
Yeah.
And it is, on one hand, yes, it is a very selfish way to think. But two, if you've been dealing with that for your whole life and say you're 30 plus years old, maybe you just want something good to happen for yourself. But does that make you a hero at that point? No, but that's not what we're not really asking that. Are you a hero?
Yeah. And
That's
you
just saying if you had powers, what would you do with them? So,
and
you know,
saying personal choice doesn't mean evil. You know what I mean?
sure. It just means getting yourself out of a tight situation.
But I mean,
Uh,
it could also mean that, like, like what's that movie, Hancock, where
yeah,
he doesn't want to be a superhero, but if he
sure.
sees some shit going on, he's still gonna step in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
totally. So
bro,
yeah,
like
I mean, it's tough. Pull up Sally Mae. Yeah. Well, let's do
exactly,
that,
dude.
Mike.
Not a lot of people would agree with that, but a lot of that shit is corrupt. And when you look it up, it's like only 1% of the money you donate actually makes it to the end goal. Everything else goes to their CEO and shit. It's like, a lot of
Yep.
people would be pissed
Hold up,
if you
fuck it.
took
Why
down,
not?
if
Uh,
you took down those organizations, but in the greater
like,
good,
yeah,
it's like those things were evil, bro. Like,
but like, yeah, personally, yeah, I would probably do that, but like after I took care of myself, if I'm being honest, I would do the things I would take care of myself first, selfishly,
mhm.
um, but also very transparent with everybody here that I would do that first, and then do other things that would help other people. I don't know that I would help other people first before helping myself, but, like, I would wanna make myself be in a good place before I would start helping other people.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I yeah, Sally Mae's a loan company. I was thinking something else. I was thinking a nonprofit. Um, but yeah, man, and that's perfectly fine too. Because I mean, you if your shit doesn't take that long to handle and correct,
Yeah.
and it mentally puts you in a better spot to save a lot more other people. At that point, it's like the airplanes where it's put on your gas mask before helping the person next to you. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like, yeah,
Same shit.
how often are you actually gonna follow the protocols on the airplane
Yeah.
when it's going down? When shit is actually going down. What are
I'm
you gonna do? Are you actually gonna follow the protocols that they're telling you that nobody's paying attention to? Everybody's looking at their phones or they're listening to their fucking Kendrick
I'm
Lamar on their phone. They're not actually listening to what's going on. So does anybody even know how to fucking help people on an airplane?
yeah, basically you help yourself before helping others, which makes sense, dude. You
Yeah.
don't want
Well, yeah.
a kid next to you. Yeah, they survived and then the parent's gone. It's like this kid's going to get eaten by a shark if they're in the ocean. This kid's, doesn't know what the hell to do. So save the parent and then, the kid, the parent can give the kid CPR, the parent can try and wake the kid up, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
The only rule they tell you is to save yourself before you save somebody else.
yeah. And so it's like if that's the difference of doing, superpowers for personal use versus superpowers for, strictly purely what somebody else says is good and evil, then yeah, I'm going personal all the way for sure.
Hey Mike, thank you so much, brother, for being here this whole time. I know we're almost hitting 3 hours here, so
Yeah,
thanks so much,
this
dude.
is officially the
Uh,
longest stream that we've
oh
had.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is our longest stream for sure. You made it to the end. Thanks so much, Mike. Yeah, I
Thanks for
appreciate
being
you,
here,
brother. I
dude.
love you.
From the beginning all the way to the end.
Yeah, all the way to the
He
end.
was even part of the pre-show. So I
Yeah, it's
appreciate you.
Mike's one of the coolest guys I've ever met in my life. So, done. Still continuing that thought process with him here. So, thanks,
Appreciate you.
brother.
Um
Uh,
yeah,
I
man.
guess I think that's it, didn't I? That about wraps it up.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to do something here that we haven't done. And I think I tried to explain that we can pass on our crowd to somebody else. And so, we got six or seven people here. Let me see if
Hey, Bruce, don't leave yet. Thank you so much for hanging out the whole time too. Bruce was like, "See you later, Legion of Geeks." It sounds like Sean is about to pass something on. I don't even know what he's gonna say.
yeah,
He's gonna
so no,
surprise me
we're
too.
gonna I was gonna raid somebody.
Oh,
Um
he's gonna rate somebody.
uh
Uh, yeah.
if you guys have somebody, if you guys in chat have somebody, that the same similar type of stuff that we can pass our crowd on to. I have a few people, they're a little wild. Um if you guys are down to get, would you guys want to watch video games, or you guys want to go, keep it just chatting with the wild dude? Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, this is all for you guys too. I mean, yeah, we want to talk about what we want to talk about, but it's not going to go anywhere if you guys don't give a shit about what we're saying either. So, whatever you want to listen to, whatever you want us to talk about, let us know,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about it.
All right, if nobody's saying anything, we're going to this wild dude. His name is Scooty Puff Jr. Great name. He's a sweetheart. But he is definitely a wild one. So you guys enjoy,
Yeah.
stick around for the raid. You guys don't have to stay there, but
Well, real quick, Zombie, thank you so much for everything, for being here and chatting. Thank you, Bruce, for everything. You guys are awesome.
yeah,
We'll see you guys next week. We'll have something really awesome for you guys. Promise. Okay.
let me get this started. Oh, it looks like that one didn't work. All right, we're going to another weirdo. We're gonna go to Nephew Quinn. Uh,
What is this?
I'm trying to raid a channel and it keeps on stopping us. So
It's canceling. Yeah.
let me see here. Okay, I don't know why it keeps on doing it. Here we go. Okay, it's giving me a countdown now. So this dude's a little weird, but he's a whole lot of fun. He's such a sweetheart. So I appreciate you guys. Stick around for the raid, and we will see you next week. Peace, guys.